Yo.
Hey, hey, man! You still got the best intro animation of all time, man. You do, man.
And we're still here. Episode 4,
Still.
2021. We are still alive. Did make it.
Still for the CSF fans out there. Still.
All right. I'm gonna hit this real quick before we get into the what do we got coming up?
All right, man. Hey, Aaron must have forgot how we do the intros. Hey, look, hey.
We'll get back to
it. hey, y'all, he a little rusty. Hey, everybody, what's going on out there? It's your boy Chris McCloud and my main man, Aaron, aka Young 2021 Ketchup, aka Young Big Mad, out here in these streets. We got an interesting show. It's probably gonna be a little longer than usual because we haven't talked to y'all in a while.
Yeah, we'll try to be quick.
Yeah, trying to go over a couple things. We're gonna catch up on 2021 because we late in the game. We obviously gonna talk about Vicarious Visions going to Blizzard, which Young Big Mad is super interested in talking about. We're gonna talk about Microsoft's Xbox Live Gold roller coaster, if that's what y'all want to call it. It's more like a take back. They had to hit that jump back. And then our further outlook on 2021, man, just in general. So, Aaron, let's start with you, my brother. How you feeling, man? How you doing? You been playing any new games?
Yeah, I actually did play a lot of stuff. It's been we were live at the end of December, but I guess that's like 6 weeks now. So
man.
I turned on my PS5 finally. I played.
Let's go.
I only played that Astro's Playroom, man. Or that's even what it was called?
Yeah.
The free Astrobot game. And you know what? That game was nice. They need to let them make a whole game or something. I just really liked it. It was the first time I felt like Sony made something that was like celebrating PlayStation. It was like that little Astrobot feels like the first real mascot of PlayStation, not just a popular game character. So I enjoyed that. That was cool.
I feel like we've talked about that before too. Like they don't really have a mascot,
right? Because the other ones are just games that are popular, but it's not the mascot. It doesn't represent the brand. But I liked. I think that Astro kind of can fill that role, and I got all the stuff. I unlocked everything. It was cool going through and seeing a lot of that stuff. I got a lot of that old hardware laying around. So that was nice. And the controller, I think it feels nice. I know that you don't like it for sounds like you were trying to play some shooters on one recently or something, but
bro, I was playing Ghost of Tsushima. And holding my left hand like this is it's trash, bro. Like I don't get it, bro. Like and it's the best controller. It's the best Sony controller ever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still, bro, asymmetrical sticks, bro. Asymmetrical.
Yeah, it's not the shape of it they made more ergonomic, but the stick is still not in the ergonomic position.
Come on, man. Asymmetrical sticks, man. Just change it.
Yeah. I continued my Zelda quest and I really hunkered down over the kind of holidays, I guess. But I completed Majora's Mask 3D. That took forever. And then I played Cadence of Hyrule, which is that rhythm game they made. That was great. Really enjoyed that. Played the crap out of it. Beat everything on there too. Put that Link's Awakening game. That only took me 2 weeks to 100% because I played it so much. I really like that Link's Awakening. That's the best. That's the most impressive, oldest remake of a game I've ever seen. I don't think that there's
So just for the people, Aaron, and I would say not to cut you off, but no, we're going to cut you off. So just for the people, how big is your game backlog right now?
It's it won already. I don't even count it anymore. I can't possibly. I just pick and I just go with it, and I pick what I think I want to play at the time, and I play it. And I still play it like it's in my backlog. I still like really commit to games. But I mean, it's hundreds, easy. I'm just trying to catch up to Zelda games because I want to be able to. There was a lot of games that I didn't play, and Breath of the Wild 2's got to be here sometime soon. So I wanted to play that new Hyrule Warriors Breath of the Wild game, So I beat Link's Awakening, and now I'm playing. I bought Hyrule Warriors Legends, the old one for Wii U on Switch, and I'm playing that now, and that's cool because that's kind of like a weird Zelda All Stars game where they got all these characters from all these different games, and you go to the different games levels and stuff. It was nice.
So the question is, Aaron, like, do you plan on being alive to play all these games? Is
I
this
just
gonna be something that you just take to your grave? Like, is it gonna be something you hand off on the bucket list? Like, hey man, to my firstborn son, finish all these games that I did not finish. Like, come on, man. At some point, Aaron, you just gotta stay current, man. Like, you gotta give up. You've had a
well, I'm
backlog
trying
since
to.
2007.
And you know what? And all I do is I pick the games that I really like, and then I just play those. Like Metal Gear 4 was coming
Metal
out, and I was
Gear.
like, it's time to play all the other Metal Gears, and I did that. And then I wanted to play that new God of War, so I said, all right, well, I'm gonna play all the God of War games. And Final Fantasy, for whatever reason, I went on a Final Fantasy quest, and I played every single main Final Fantasy game. And now it's moved on to catching up with Zelda, and I am going to start. I sat down on my PlayStation the other day, and I'm like, I'm gonna play Spider-Man because they got that new patch out. It's time. God of War still wasn't patched.
It's
And
past now.
then I went, oh wait, I don't own Spider-Man yet, and I either gotta buy it on the internet and download it, and it'll take a while, or I still don't know if I'm gonna get discs on PS5 or not. But so I was like, and then I just didn't do that. I just played something else. But
I'm telling you that I'm not even coming close to buying a disc. I haven't bought a disc in almost, yeah, I haven't bought a disc in like 8 years.
I don't hate it too much for like PlayStation because the games are so big, and I only play one game at a time too. But like on my Switch, I'm all digital because I want everything on that thing at all times. But I don't know. I am gonna play God of War though next because they gave me finally, they came out of nowhere and said new patch, you can play 60 FPS, you can play 4K on PS5 and not have to put in the disc and play version 1.0. So
Have we had the conversation about 4K not being necessary?
yeah, but it's like if it can, I mean, it's dumb that it's not even an option because they patched it out. But
Well, 4K 60 in that game, if that game would have came out on PS5 as a launch title, you wouldn't have been able to tell people that it wasn't next gen.
yeah,
That's how
and
good
that's
that's
the
how
thing is
good it
that
looks.
I want it to look as good as possible because I hear it's such a good game. But
Great game.
I really
And
was
that's how
worried they were
good
going
it
to
looks.
remaster it, but looks like maybe not.
They allegedly are.
That's my thing. Is like I'm like, is this why they're not patching it and they're not talking about it? It's because they want to remaster it and make me
They're
buy it
allegedly,
again. But
they're allegedly going to put out a lot of those games as PS5 games.
see, well, don't tell me that because then I don't want to play it still. Then I just want to keep waiting forever.
That's allegedly what's going to happen, and it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah,
But okay,
that's what
off
I've
of
been doing.
your boy's game kick, which you guys can understand why our show is always so long because we just do this. That's just what we do, right? We talk to the people. Talk to the people. So on this 21 catch up, right? One of the biggest things that happened is the GameStop stock situation. And if you guys don't know, me and Aaron both used to work at GameStop.
Mhm.
I was dismissed not amicably, and Aaron, he left on his own under his own free will. And you know, no shame in the game because we probably both make 3 times what we made at GameStop.
Yeah,
And
we would still be making the same amount if we still
yeah,
worked there.
yeah, and we still be
But-
broke boys if we were still at GameStop. But the love for GameStop is there, right? So GameStop stock situation. Stock explodes due to Reddit users essentially inflating the stock price, along with some hedge fund people throwing in their 2 cents to kind of make that stock price blow up. And a bunch of people made a lot of money. And
yeah,
there was a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Controversy surrounding a lot of the trading apps stopping people from trading the stock. Now, I'll get into how I feel about it, because I don't know everything about stock. I'm not
hmm
gonna sit here and act like I do, but I do know that a lot of money that's traded in the stock market is not the company's money. Like almost all of it is never their money. So so the thing when it comes to stock that kind of has always kind of bothered me with how people kind of attack like the Wall Street thing is like I get that Wall Street is, the evil empire and it's Darth Vader and all that, blah 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 blah. I get it. But I also understand that it's essential to the economy. It's essential to how money in this country works. It's and it's a lot of other people's money that they're moving. So when all this
Mhm.
money is exchanging hands and the people are getting paid out, believe me, you're not hurting the companies. They're not trading their own money.
Right.
They don't care. Take a look at your 401k if you want to kind of get some type of insight on what I mean by that. You're going to see every major bank in the country's name in your 401k. And you thought you were just with say you thought you was just with Huntington. They're handling your 401k. But once you look in there, you're going to see Chase P. Morgan. You're going to see Bank of America. You're going to see you're going to see PNC. You're going to see you're going to be like, "Wait a minute. I thought I was with Huntington."
Yeah.
And I tell people just, I get it. I get it. Wolf on Wall Street, F them, uh, tear down Wall Street. Let's go back again, rage against the machine. I get it. But you guys got to know that's not their money usually that they're trading.
Yeah.
So a
I
lot of things had to be stopped.
yeah.
And I understood why once I understood like how they had to cover these losses on those trades.
Well, so like I don't know. I followed it pretty close, but from one I've always heard like don't use Robinhood because it's gonna fail you in scenarios like this, which it did because Robinhood is not like a typical trading platform. They everyone uses the app. They have a million trades that they need to make, and they sell those trades. They sell the volume to somebody else to make the trades, so that they can make some money on it. And that's how they do it. But they have to there's something about them having to cover those trades, and they need cash in advance to be able to do those. And the amount of volume that they put through them on that GameStop thing was like they needed $3 billion, I think, in cash, and they only had 2, so they had to stop that.
Yeah,
And it's because of the way that Robinhood it functions. And that's why you should just not really use it because it's one of those too good to be true things. It's not really a real trading platform. It's funded oddly, and you shouldn't trust them wholly because of that. So that failed, but
apparently every major trading platform, the independent ones, wouldn't let you trade it either.
the other ones were slowing it down. They didn't limit it nearly as much, but because and they weren't also the ones that were handling the majority of the volume. But yeah, I mean they did. Wall Street kind of won on that one. They did, it's a couple hedge funds that got screwed over, and it was because they were the ones that were shorting GameStop. GameStop was somehow, they were betting on its failure, and they bet so many stocks on its failure that they bet more than even there were shares that existed, which I don't even understand how that's possible, but they did. And then Reddit said, hey, these guys are all banking on the price going down. If we all just start buying it, they're going to have to scramble to buy it from us for higher prices. And that's what they did. And then the price went to the moon because these people had to cover these bets they were making. But then the other problem with that is that GameStop's stock was still worth $5 or $20 or whatever it was. So once all of that comes to an end, it comes crashing right back down. And there was a lot of people who bought in when it was high, thinking it would go higher. And then it crashed, and then they didn't get out in time. If you don't get out in time, you lose money, and that happens to a lot of people.
And you're gonna lose your lunch, my baby. You're gonna
Yeah,
lose your lunch. It's just I'm happy for the people that did, that made the money.
yeah, and it's a cool thing that like happened. It was a pretty weird, wild historical event, but
Yes.
I know a little. I know personally people who were posting that they put in money and then put in money at like $300-400 a share, and then it just tanked after that. I mean, it tanked when Wall Street won and they took down Robinhood basically. But so that was bad. But also, don't jump into Dogecoin, people. Bitcoin, it's the same. It's the same thing. Dogecoin is
listen to your boy Elon.
Yeah, that's another one where if you look at it, Dogecoin doesn't go like this. It goes up, and then it comes right back down, and it goes up, and it comes back down, and that's because there's no limit on how much Dogecoin they can make. So it's not like other cryptocurrencies, and people go, "Oh, this is the next big one." It's like, no, dude, it's doing what it's done it like 3 times in its history. It goes way up, and then it crashes, and it's, Elon Musk tweets about it, so it's going way up, but it's gonna crash. So again, if you bought a lot of Dogecoin, like the second you see that mountaintop tip over or whatever, the second you go over the edge, you better sell as soon as possible. So I don't know. People are getting into some wild money trends lately.
No, 100%. And like, that's why I said, like, I really wanted to just, with the, and it's not even just about GameStop. I just like how people feel about Wall Street in general. I'm like, hey man, it's a lot of things that's essential to America, bro, that you guys might not really like, but it kind of,
yeah,
gotta have it.
There's just something
that
there's some things about it that need to be better regulated, and that kind of exposed one of those things. But so yeah, I did not get in because it was already really high, and I was like, I'm not taking this chance because overnight it could go back to nothing, and I'm not chancing it. But GameStop thanks you. I'm sure a lot of GameStop executives and employees who had some stock.
Yeah,
I bet you they all sold.
They got paid.
There was some kid. You see that kid who was like 10 years old? His mom bought him $60 in stock last year. He sold it for over $3,000. So he made some faithful GameStop customers happy.
At the price it was at, though, it's like, yeah, you could just buy it. Like I remember seeing Ford stock price like super low for no reason, and I was like, man, that probably should buy that because it's Ford Motor Company, and you kind of be not smart to not buy it.
Yeah, it's gonna go. It will get back up there. So now's the time.
It was like $8 a share, so you probably might want to buy that. But so I get it. And I'm glad Aaron broke it down for you guys. But like, look, man. I get it. You guys don't have to wait. You don't have to hate Wall Street. I get it. Yes. Like Wall Street is essential to the American economy. All right. So if you're not in America, I mean, I get it. F Wall Street, right? But if you're here, man, it's essential to you, man.
Well, it's just we need more education on it. We need more people to know how it works. But they kind of bank on that too, unfortunately. But
well, yeah, that's how it is in any industry.
It's already getting.
That's in any industry, Aaron. How much do people really know about the medical industry?
Nothing.
All right.
Okay. That's the big problem about it.
Yep. And nobody's gonna take time to learn. So when you go to CVS for your prescription and you see $250 for that bottle of pills, you're like, does it really cost that much? Well, realistically, no.
Yeah.
But
there's something at play there that's causing it. But yeah.
So it is what it is. It is what it is. So
moving on, I'm gonna throw some of my quick ones that I know we don't need to spend a lot of time on. But I really like that GoldenEye Xbox Live Arcade remake. That's crazy that somebody was just like, I think statute of limitations is up enough on this. I'm just gonna leak it, and they just put out the whole GoldenEye Xbox Live Arcade remake onto the internet.
I remember that was during the 360 era, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was supposed to come out.
It was like,
and it didn't come out. Done. Why? Because of some type of licensing problem or something.
The guy came out recently and said it was somebody way high up on Nintendo, and they said that Nintendo was on board and then pulled the plug. Because somebody said we can't have a Nintendo game come out on Xbox and then pull the plug. No more. So now I'm like, I think that with how much people enjoy this game, because man, all you got to do is just take the file, open an Xbox 360 emulator, play it. If you got a hacked 360, you can just burn a thing and play it.
So essentially, you could play it on Xbox Series X because you can run that 360 emulator on the
if you got it, if you can get it hacked, I know. But it even the multiplayer works. It has System Link, and the System Link works. So people were using some online emulation software that they made for online play, where you can play System Link games with people over the internet. So people were playing the online multiplayer for it even. So I mean, I would hope though that maybe we see this still someday, just because Microsoft puts games on Nintendo Switch now. So maybe they'll just say, hey, Want to try
Did
this?
you?
Want to give this one more go, and you can have it on
I
Switch
guess
too.
this is kind of like off topic. Then, did you see like the rumor about MCC coming on PlayStation 5?
I
And
did.
people were going
They were
nuts.
like, it could come to another platform. I think that's just somebody looking into the wording. That was a stupid rumor.
And I was sitting there looking at it like, I was like, well, why?
Yeah,
You know,
that's the one that they. I mean, they haven't even done that with any other games yet on PlayStation, so probably not going to start with Halo. But
not MC. I mean, I guess maybe unless they was just like MCC is never going to see another title update. So I mean, hey, if you want to, maybe it's to get guys to jump ship and come play that new Halo that you're going to have out for the next 10 years.
I think from the wording, it's just as likely that they could have been talking about Epic Game Store on PC. It's probably just another PC store. It's already on Steam, so why not the other ones make more money? But that's probably
people
all
buying
it
them.
is.
That's true. People buying them.
Yeah.
People MCC selling like hotcakes on Steam. I think it made the top 10 like the last 4 months.
Yeah, I've been meaning to get it. As soon as I get some people together to play it or something, I will grab it.
Bro, it plays cross-platform.
Yeah. I don't know, but organizing with people and actually coordinating as adults.
I'm sure you can find 15 other people that own either a PC or an Xbox to play MCC. I'm like more than absolutely sure. Then we can play that big team battle and get it in and take it back to 2006.
That would be nice, man. If somebody organized the online night for MCC, I would be in.
MCC is fire. MCC is fire.
Well, yeah, I played through that GoldenEye and I liked it a lot, and I'm gonna probably play it through a couple times. In wrestling news, got my AEW Kenny Omega shirt on. Kenta from New Japan showed up on AEW Dynamite last week, so the forbidden door is open, as they've been saying.
So the New Japan AEW crossover game is finally happening.
So AEW has had Impact on their show. Now they got New Japan. They've had Major League Wrestling people on it. So they're just like, I don't know what the comparison is, but they're just trying to bring it right back to how it used to be in the 90s and stuff with all these different promotions. And they're like, we'll work with anybody. It's to everyone's benefit. We'll have people on your show. You can have people on our show. We can do crossover events, set up matches. It's just, everyone just likes it. I mean, it just works better for everybody. So why not? But that's not the Vince McMahon WWE way. So they're still sticking it to him pretty hard on that. They're forming their own wrestling promotion, Avengers, to take on Thanos.
I'm gonna see if I can do it like Nav. Hey, look at him. Look. Hey, look at him. That's like his go-to Vince McMahon impersonation. He'd be like,
there's some talks on that though about NBC's got all this Peacock stuff going on. They're absorbing the WWE network into Peacock. Great for everyone, I'm sure. And there's word that NBC might want to buy them.
Actually,
from
first off,
Vince McMahon.
It's Comcast. It's Comcast.
Is that what it?
All
is?
Right. So number one, for people who don't know, okay, NBC got bought a long time ago by the juggernaut known as Comcast / Xfinity, whatever you want to call them.
Aren't they like Time Warner as well? Or no?
They own Universal.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what is the other?
So
NBC,
Comcast
Universal, Comcast. Yeah.
Yeah, Comcast owns 33% of the world media. They own Universal.
Yeah.
So I don't know necessarily how that works and how the corporate structure is broken down, but the fact that you're probably one of your biggest, if not the biggest cable provider in the nation, also owns Universal. I don't understand how that deal went through, but whatever. Yeah, if WWE gets absorbed by Comcast, number one, that's like cheating.
Yeah. But I mean, some people just don't care though. They're like, if it takes it from Vince McMahon and it gets somebody else to be in charge of it, it's one of those things where it seems like it's so easy for them to make even more money and to just do things that their fans like, so that they have a better reputation with them. And he is just not about that.
That they have more minority champions. I've noticed that actually.
They do, but they've been doing that, a bit. they're lucky in that, you know, they have so much talent that they have some of the best minority talent on the planet.
It seems like they've made more of an effort to go get minority talent.
Well, they get like they by default get everybody.
I get it because of WWE. But you know, I guess because who's really running the show over there now? Triple H is like really running the show now, right? So it's like it seems like he's paying more attention to like the social climate.
Yeah, and there's definitely people there that try to do that, but then
he's making decisions based on that.
I think it comes down to Vince McMahon, who then at the end of the day is like, you know, what's his name was the first black champion, and I don't even think that lasted very long. And he didn't have
who Kofi?
Kofi, yeah, he had that really big match. It was great. WrestleMania, became the champion, huge deal, and then like he didn't do too much with it after that.
Now
I feel like Vince was like, all right, we gave it to him. Let's move on to what I want to do.
I had a convo with obviously Nav about this because he's like a super wrestling fan, and you know, I had always been like, well, why not The Rock? And he was just like, man, because The Rock was kind of promoted, even though he is black, right? He was promoted as a Samoan because he's also Samoan. But that was how they marketed him as. So a lot of people didn't feel like that. Like, you know, it was like Kofi, where it's like not even like an argument how we're marketing the guy.
I mean, him and the New Day too are just unapologetically black too. So.
Oh yeah, they are blackity black. That is true. So but how do you feel about that? Do you feel like The Rock got a raw deal? Because like, remember, he was in the Nation of Domination, right? Which was like the AKA WWE Black Panthers, right? So it's not like he was never black on screen,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So how do people look at the two? Like how do people kind of break it down? Do they consider The Rock a black champion or not? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think that it's almost like you just got to consider him his own thing because he's such a force of nature when it comes to entertainment in general. He's now one of the biggest paid actors of all time. So, you know, it's like easy to just give it to him then. But then I think you just have to look more to the rest of their history and to what they've been doing more recently. You know, and it just doesn't seem like they've made much of an effort or really cared too much. And then, you know, they obviously made a big deal of it when Kofi became champion. But so I don't know. You know, diversity in WWE, they definitely have it. They're pushing plenty of people now. Their issue is
a lot of the tag team champions are black. I just saw like the girl, what's her name? The women's champion with the crazy long
Bianca,
braid.
I think.
Yeah, the insanely long braid.
Bianca Belair? I don't know. I don't watch WWE enough, but I am familiar with them.
And then old girl who's Snoop Dogg's cousin that was in Star Wars, who's incredibly attractive. I forgot her name, but she's incredibly attractive. Like to the point where I was like, how is she like what? So she won't be in WWE very much longer because she's incredibly attractive and she was just in Star Wars. So yeah, I'm pretty sure she's gonna be doing her thing.
She can do whatever she wants.
Yeah. Body of like just a goddess.
Yeah.
Like
and she already is. But yeah. So I don't know. But their big thing is just booking. People are they always want them to do more stuff. They always want them to push different people that are really popular. But like if Vince doesn't see it that way, then they don't really see that. But so people are just ready for him to not. He's been running it like with an iron grip for so long, and it's almost odd for someone to still be doing that. He's getting up there too.
Is he like 80? Is he like 80?
This man is 75. My goodness. I really didn't think he was that old, but so you know, it's time. Come on.
Okay, well, and it's also AEW's time to change the game. Change the game. But I still feel like they need like a super high, like they got names, right? I'm waiting on them to bring in like that next generation of guys that will kind of change things. Because like I feel like the names they have get people in the door, right? Just having Kenny gets people in the door, right? But now the next step is like when we were younger, what for us it was obviously like The Rock. It was Stone Cold, Steve Austin. Like those were the two. But everybody else was cool. Triple H was great. Undertaker, all those guys were great. But when we were in school, I just remember everybody had a Stone Cold shirt on or they had a Rock shirt on. It was like, so I'm waiting on those two individuals to show up, man, for AEW to kind of take them to that next level. And if your boy wouldn't have got caught up in that sex case that you told me about, because I thought he was like amazing, Velveteen. I thought Velveteen was amazing. Like I saw him one time, and I was like, "Yo, he is amazing."
Me too.
And then,
that was
and then your boy, the Japanese cat, they messed him up when they changed his theme music. Bro, he had the best thing. He had the best.
Yeah, well, they brought it back.
I'd ever seen. He had the best intro I've ever seen, bro. Like I told you, I watched it with Nav one time. I'm sitting down, and I'm sitting next to Nav, and I'm like, "Hey, bro, who's this guy?" And I don't know anything about wrestling, so I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, "Yo, who's this guy?" And he was like, "Oh man," he's telling me about him. I'm like, "Bro, it's the best intro I've ever seen." Like, had the whole crowd just captivated.
Yeah, he's like he's quite the character too. I liked him a lot. Yeah, Shinsuke Nakamura. He used to wrestle with a lot of these dudes that are in AEW now, and when they were all in New Japan. That's why it's kind of getting crazy. Is that so many of these guys were in New Japan and stuff like that, and now they're like kind of coming back together and getting to. I think they're really trying to set up some stuff to kind of finish out their relationships, because a lot of them kind of jumped out of New Japan and then didn't get to really finish what they were working on. But so yeah, I don't know. Wrestling exciting right now, for sure.
Yeah, man, I'm starting to actually care about watching it again. Even though I'm not a kid anymore.
It's interesting. It's not just the same old stuff. It was pretty easy to ignore WWE before, but now there's like all this stuff going on.
Man, I just hated the characters. Like I had felt like the WWE. Like I felt like after, this is the last thing I'm gonna say about it, right? After like the Rock Stone Cold era, right? I had felt like that whole super gritty, like, the braggadocious, like I saw these guys on the mic, and maybe it's just that the bar was set too high. The Rock on the mic was like ridiculous. Like he was ridiculous on the mic. Like Stone Cold was ridiculous on the mic. Like you had guys that just, once they got that microphone, man, they were ridiculous. And then I'm seeing these new guys, and I'm just like not interested at all. Like they're all saying like the same stuff. Like it's not.
Yeah.
It's. I was like. Ugh.
I think a lot of it. I think there was a bit of a culture shift. Everybody was pumping huge steroids back then and stuff like that, and that was like what you wanted.
Big
and,
Papa
we moved. We moved away from that a little bit. If you look at wrestlers from back then compared to now, there is almost nobody that big.
I felt like it was more hip hop back then. Maybe that's what it was. I felt like that hip hop tone was in it more, because like Big Papa Pump was like straight. He's a white dude, but it was straight like hip hop. Like, how he talked, how he moved, everything was, yeah, baby, like he was swag. It was just swagger, was just dripping. Like even like Stone Cold, who I never really looked at as like a hip hop guy, like, but the hip hop community kind of just attached to him. Everybody loves
everybody wanted that attitude.
And like the new guys, it seems like neutered.
Well, I think it's everyone back then had mic skills. It seems like, well, everyone that everyone talks about, they had mic skills, and like that's kind of
it was just nice on the mic.
It's a hard thing to come by these days. AEW has a couple really good people. This guy MJF, everybody talks about being like the next like mega heel. He's the biggest jerk in the world, and he's unapologetic about it, and everyone loves him because he's so good at it. And like you hate him so much, and then you also love him because of how hateable he has made himself. It's because it's talent. He works with Chris Jericho all the time now, because he's gonna be like the next. Yeah,
man, Chris got ooh, Jesus.
He's still kind of solid, but he's just kind of like a.
Is that the Roy's?
He's just like a pop can. I think his body just like filled out into a cylinder.
That major muffin top, man.
Yeah. So even if he's all muscle, his muscle all just filled into a perfect cylinder.
He got
Um,
that major muffin top, bro. He got to stop. He got to stop wearing the leather. The leather, man. It's
yeah,
squeezing, man. It's squeezing.
he had a few weeks ago. He had a pretty bad bump where he does this lion salt where he still jumps off of the ropes, like not off the top of the ropes, but like off the middle of the ropes and backflips off the rope. And he did that, and his head hit the ground when he was about completely upside down and
Hey,
just
what
kind
was the
of
name of that
wrapped
move?
down. I think it's just
What?
a lion salt.
Yeah, but what did he call it? He called it something,
Oh, I
didn't he?
don't know. He does have a name for it. And yeah, he's known for it.
Wasn't it like the Y2K or something?
Maybe. And if it was, then that would make sense why he doesn't call it that anymore. But he only kept a couple of his move names.
I think it was called the Y2K because obviously the Walls of Jericho, we know what that is.
Yeah.
I want to
He's
say
still allowed
that
to use that
lion
one.
salt. I want to say that lion salt was like the Y2K or some shit.
Yeah,
like
or
that.
Y2J probably or something like that. But
yeah, something like that. Something like that.
Yeah, he's still hitting those, but he had a pretty bad one, and then he made it up, and the next time he wrestled, did another one and made sure it was good. But that dude's in his 50s too. I think he's gonna retire soon.
Bro.
He's doing kind
Let's
of
wrap it up, man.
He's wrapping it up.
But that's why I feel like they need to find the next guys. Like right now, they have to find these guys. And you know what? I want to say this before we move on to the next thing. Like this is easily. I miss talking to you, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's lonely out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? It's lonely in these streets. So, okay, all right. Enough about wrestling. I'm gonna leave that to Hero and Noveliss on the Swordcast, which comes out every Tuesday weekly.
Yeah, they're a little more consistent than we are.
Oh, way more. Not even a little. Shameless plug. I love both of them. And you guys should go support that because those two are amazing. Their podcast is amazing.
Yeah, Swordscast. I'm playing all Novelist's music usually if you're hearing it. So.
Oh yeah, go buy something, man. Yeah, yeah, man. Go buy something because I get a undisclosed percentage. What is it? Hey, so okay, let's talk about my second favorite game series of all time. Okay. I am a fanboy for two games. Okay. Two games. I was just like putting two in front of the camera. Two. All right. Halo.
I guess I could have put this up.
And God of War. So these two games hold a place near and dear to my heart because like when I was a kid, they were my sources of inspiration to learn about game design, right? So God of War, the remake or the new version of God of War 2018, that's what people call it, right? Got an update. So Aaron, this is your first time playing this game, right? Because you waited for the update.
I ain't started it yet though.
Through. Oh man, you are trash. So matter of fact, hey, okay, well, how about this? Since you haven't played it, get that 4K 60 frames per second, 12 minutes of gameplay. Get that, put that on screen for the people because you can't talk about how you played it. So at least put that up there for the people so they can see it with your technical expertise and whatnot, Aaron. and while you're doing that, tell the people how you feel about that update and you know what you like about finally being able to play it.
Well, yeah, and we said a little bit about it, but it's just I want to play. It's a very good game from what I hear, and if I I want to make sure I get the full experience. So I mean, even before PS5 was out, I waited. I finished God of War 3 or whatever, and I was like, man, PS5 is coming out in like 4 or 5 months. I'll just wait. I'll just play something else, and then I'll just play it on there, and it'll look better. 60 frames, not a bad resolution. So finally we're getting it. I mean, I was really worried. It's been, I don't know, it's been what, when did the PS5 come out? November?
Yeah, something like that.
2 almost going on 3 months here. So it's about time. And I'm glad that that they did it. But yeah, because I was about to have to, which I was like, this can't be right. They're doing something because they wouldn't have me go through this. But if you played, man, I told this thing to.
Come on, Aaron.
I just turned it
Step
down
your
right here.
game up. You in the middle of the podcast and you can't get the third screen. Thank you, man. Come on. Look at this, man. Number one, shout out to Aaron for having even the ability to do this. I tell people, man, that the guy's legit. He's legit. Hey, man, you have a future in setting up podcasts,
Production.
animations and backgrounds and production. Yes, like definitely. Somebody needs to hire you right now. But yeah, this game looks amazing. I told people, like, if this would have came out with the PlayStation 5, there's no way anybody would have argued with you that it was last gen.
Right. I mean, yeah, and it can do. They were like, hey, remember when the game first came out and it had like a 4K mode, but it ran like crap? And they're like, if you plug that up into a PS5, it runs perfectly. And I was like, man, I don't want to. For one, I want to play the game with the updates because I want bug fixes and stuff. And then I'm just like, that means they're either remastering it or they're gonna put out a patch or an update or something. So
I told you, from what I've read, they're allegedly going to re-release a bunch of the PS4 classics as PS5 games. So that would be like this, also Last of Us 2, and hopefully that means they add ray tracing or something.
that's probably what you'd have to do. And I wonder if that's gonna happen, just because, like, Spider-Man was like, they needed and wanted to replace their Peter Parker model. So they, remastered the first game with the new character model.
Slap Kratos.
Did he have a new voice too? I can't remember.
Yes, Kratos had a new voice actor.
Or no, because, did Peter Parker have a new voice when they remastered Spider-Man?
That I don't remember.
He had a new actor,
but I know about Kratos.
It's like they had reason to. Okay. They wanted to put ray tracing in, and then they needed to change out the character. So that makes sense for a remaster to me. I think this game.
Look at those character models, man.
I'm just like, they're not going to change anything big though on this one if they remaster it.
Well, they'll probably just add ray tracing or something.
Look
at the character models in this game, bro.
I almost wonder. I'd like to see like a digital foundry on the lighting that they did in this game, because a lot of people go through really great lengths to emulate the lighting manually to make it look like it was ray traced, but really they just manually did all of it. This was such a cool scene. I have seen the opening of this game before, and when he does that, you're like, whoa, all right, it's God of War.
So my favorite thing really about this game, and you can cut the feed because I feel like we're being spoiler boys right now for people who have not played this game. Hey man, if you want to go watch that, 12 minutes of gameplay, man, y'all can go watch it. I just wanted to show it because I want you guys to see some of it. But if they figure out a way to, how do I put this, Aaron? I guess I don't really know how to say it. It's from a technical aspect, that game, right? If they can kind of figure out a way to put that game out on PlayStation 5 with ray tracing, I think it'll be like a technical showpiece, like, for the system, because that game was beautiful. Like, you have to play it, Aaron. It is one of the best looking games I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think ideally they don't make a big deal of it. They don't make you rebuy it. They release a major update, kind of like how Cyberpunk is going to do or whatever, where you get the PS5 update if you bought it already or you bought it digitally. And then, just kind of enhance the digital version that people can buy that, it works on PS4 and it works on PS5. And that would be nice. I'll be salty if I play this game before that. But who knows? Maybe I want to play it again before the next one comes out or something. So,
well, the next one allegedly is coming out on PS4 as well. So if they did bring it out, yeah, apparently so. The rumor is they're going to have both of those games. They're going to have Horizon Forbidden West on PS4 and PS5, and they're going to have God of War on PS4 and PS5.
Oh, man.
Which probably tells you The fact that the turnaround is so fast on the next God of War, because God of Wars don't come out this fast.
Right. I mean, they must have started working on it immediately.
They're probably using the same exact engine and the same exact technology. So putting it out on PS4 is not a big deal because it's already like they were already making it. So I could see them saying, well, whatever. It already looks super good. And what I was really gonna get to about like the technical showpiece part, the level of quality, like the difference between Microsoft and Sony with their games right now. That game is so gorgeous, right? The quality control coming out of those studios that Sony has, it's like it's next level. It is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that's the one thing.
I mean,
that Microsoft has to do. Like Microsoft has one game in their stable where the quality control is like next level. That's Forza. Like Forza is the quality is always top notch. Whether it's Forza Horizon, which is one of the best racing games ever. Well, the last one, I think it was Horizon 4.
Yeah.
And then any of the Forza games. But beyond that, the quality control is dipped. And that's even on Halo. And I'm speaking as that, from that as a Halo fan.
Well, you got Ori too.
Ori's not first party.
Well,
they don't own them.
They don't own them?
No, they don't own them.
They just publish.
They just publish the game. But yes,
they don't own them.
Look, you already know you ain't got to talk to me. You already know you ain't got to talk to me about Ori.
Yeah.
Ori's top 20 best games ever made.
Yeah.
Ever. Noveliss is right there. With any game you're ever, it's better than Metroid. It's better than Castlevania. And if y'all want to argue, I got time. I don't care. It's better than all of those.
Well,
so
I'm I think that is next on my list after I catch up on all my Zelda stuff. Fortunately, these Hyrule Warriors.
I don't understand how you haven't played it yet.
I don't get it. Other stuff. I want to.
Turn it off. I'm telling you that one of the greatest games of all time is like I'm not saying these other games aren't good. Okay, it's one of the greatest games of all time, bro. You have to play it. Okay,
I bought it too. I do own it. I bought. I got the first one on Switch, and I did just pick up Will of the Wisps on Steam. It was like $10 something.
I'll let you borrow my Series X so you can play it at 6K super sample, 120 frames.
Oh man, I got the PC with RTX. I'll be good.
Okay, then let's go. Then go ahead.
I'm gonna play it on my computer to monitor too at 144 hertz.
Let's
1440p.
Let's go.
I'm just banking on. I don't usually play games like that on a computer, but I'm just banking on liking the first one so much that I'm sure I'm gonna be like, I don't care.
It's so good.
I'm doing it.
It's so good. And the second one is so much better than the first one.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But we're not even about to talk about Ori because I'll talk about Ori for 20 minutes. Okay, so we talked about God of War. We'll revisit that when Aaron actually plays a game and he stops being a douche. Man, this show is cruising, man. This is actually a legitimately good show, man. I'm so glad I'm talking to you today, man. This is crazy. I really miss you, bro. It's crazy. So let's talk about the MCU, okay? Because this is also a real big hot topic for people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's big right now.
MCU's on TV. They got WandaVision popping off. For anybody to watch the first 3 episodes and said it was boring, what I say is
rapidly trying to prove you wrong.
Yeah, number one, yes, what Aaron said, but number 2, it just our appreciation for our history. I don't know if people really know what they're emulating, but those are like the shows like your grandmother used to watch, man.
Mm-hmm.
Your parents used to watch. Like it's. I like what Kevin, and it's Kevin Feige, right? Is it Feige or Feige?
Feige. I think it's Feige.
Feige?
That's what I hear the most.
Feige. Okay, let's go with Feige. You got to hold the E. Feige. Okay?
Yeah.
I like what he's doing, man. He's a genius. He's a genius.
It is ridiculous. I don't know.
He's a genius.
I don't know what he does. I don't know if he just sits there and just combs over all source material from everything and then he just thinks like years in advance. And and just comes up with the craziest stuff, and then figures out
He
how to
is a
involve all these
genius.
different writers and creators and get them to make great shows that all still end up tying up to one thing. Crazy.
Have we ever talked about power scaling on our show? Like, or is that because that's like next level nerd stuff when we start talking about power scaling? Like, hey, people talk about like character power scaling and how the writers are making certain characters so powerful. The level that they have put Scarlet Witch on, okay, in this show, okay, she's easily top 3 most. She's might be top 2 strongest people in the MCU, right?
And they've been handling it well too, as far as if you look back on it. They had to check her in Endgame in some kind of way. They always made
They
sure they
always
were
kind
like,
of turned her up. They always kind of turned her up, you know.
but they
and
were
they
like,
always
listen,
kept
we know
turning
she's
her up.
powerful, but this happened, so Thanos threatened killing a gazillion other people at the same time so that she wouldn't kill him. So, but,
So I feel like I don't want to spoil it, but we have to talk about like the X-Men part of this. So
all right, so that means episode
so how are we gonna do this?
that means episode 5 spoilers. So if you
Okay, look.
have not, it came out on Friday. If you haven't watched yet,
Look,
skip
man, turn us off, bro.
skip
Turn us
ahead.
off. Yeah, turn us off because this is important. Okay. This is why Kevin's a genius. Okay. Because I talked about this with my boy Rich. I feel like he's like her power, basically, she's gonna become like basically a villain, right? I don't want to go too much into theories because I just don't want to do all that, right? But what he did with her and how they're gonna bring in the X-Men, he made it make complete sense. Like he made it make complete sense so they don't have to rewrite everything. Because the question you would ask is, how did all this stuff happen in the world and the X-Men never knew about it? How did they just show up out of nowhere? Right?
Well, they just weren't there.
And, yeah, right. Oh, they just weren't there, Chris. Well, in New
Different-
York,
different universe.
right, in a different universe. Right? But if he has a character who's powerful enough to basically destroy, like to create a universal rift to where worlds start blending because she doesn't have control of everything, which he also is subtly showing you. Like, and every one thing happens where something goes wrong and she don't
Mhm.
have control, right? And as things get worse and as her emotions continue to swell and swell and swell, things get worse and worse and worse and she loses more control, right? Kevin is a genius. So when he brings in the X-Men and he brings in the Fantastic Four and he just makes it make sense strictly off this show, I'm gonna have to bow down to this dude, bro.
I still
I'm gonna
don't.
have
Yeah, I don't think they're
I'm
gonna
gonna
bring
have
in
to do
the all the same X-Men, but I think they're gonna end up having their own take on mutants in this particular the MCU's main universe. But it's like he looked at it and went, "All right, so we got Sony on the hook for more Spider-Man, and we just
Let's
got
go.
20th Century Fox." He said, "So we could just throw it all in the garbage, including the parts that people liked, or how do we maybe
could just-
get some of this in,
blend it
figure
in.
out how to get them in here a little bit, because it's like."
Blend it in.
So I still don't think that like okay, so the reveal at the end of the episode, I don't think that that's a mutant from this dimension. I think that is that character from the 20th Century Fox movies pulled into our multiverse. And
Yes,
it is
yes,
here now.
yes.
And,
And that's what I'm getting at.
I still
I
think, ideally he's gonna get back to his home universe, but I think that's what we're seeing.
Yes.
I think that Vision is also probably from another multiverse, or that the Mind Stone that made him is from another multiverse, because he seems to be real as well.
Well, but you remember they had that scene where he went back to looking like he did when he was dead.
I think
So
that's
like
just
she couldn't hold up. I felt like she couldn't hold up the like what would you call it? The illusion.
yeah. I think that a lot of that's just a bit of a red herring that they're kind of leading us on with, though, just because of how sentient he seems to be. And I don't think that Quicksilver. I don't think that that's. I don't think that she made him. I think that that's a person, and they keep doubling down on everyone there is a person. And they're
Yes.
real people. So I'm like, I don't think that I don't think that Vision is just her creation. Then I think that she definitely stole his body, but
Yep.
she could have got a Mind Stone from another multiverse, stuck it in him, brought him back to life, or maybe
Hey,
she
man.
tried to bring him back to life and it didn't work. So then she went on that,
Man, you way out
task.
there on
So
that on the theory. See, I see you out here. You way out here. Look, I think
I didn't know
that
too. Did you know that her sons are characters in the Young Avengers?
yes.
I didn't know that until today. My
This
brother
is what
told me.
this is what I'm getting
So
at.
that's also what they're moving to. But
I think that they're blending the multiverse. I think that her powers are going out of control, and because they're going out of control, uh, her making a pocket universe inside of one universe is destroying the universal rift. Like kind of
yeah,
like on some everything's gonna start bleeding in, kind of like what they just did with the Ultimate Universe. Because the Ultimate Universe it doesn't exist anymore. They brought all those characters into the main Marvel storyline.
mm-hmm.
So like Miles is in books with Peter now,
Mm-hmm.
like, but not Ultimate Peter, like Amazing Peter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think that's what they're doing, and I can't wait to see what they do with it. But Kevin is a genius. We're gonna get off this because we over here in super spoiler territory. So
Yeah.
you got anything else? You got anything else, Aaron, that you want to add?
It's just gonna be interesting. I think we're either gonna see how they do mutants, or we're gonna see the Fantastic Four. We might see Mephisto.
I'm leaning towards Doom.
And I think that I don't think we're gonna see mutants still for a little bit. I think this is just kind of play into that whole, the next Doctor Strange movie is called The Multiverse of Madness. Wanda stars in it. They already said that. So it's obviously going to have something to do with this show. And then I think we might see Dormammu again as well. But
hopefully in his real form, not just like some type of face thingy.
Yeah. And then what else does that lead to?
And if we see Mephisto, hopefully we see Ghost Rider.
Oh, and Spider-Man. Spider-Man's gonna have something to do with it too, because as the worst kept secret in Hollywood seems to be, we're probably gonna see Tobey Maguire and
Andrew Garfield.
So it's gonna be some multiverse
man, I'm
stuff.
cool with that, man. But they got to put Miles in the film.
It could.
We need Miles, man.
Did you see the also? I guess a little bit of a maybe Easter egg spoiler, but somebody spotted one of the trucks with the Food Corp name or whatever it is from the Spider-Man game that I haven't played yet. But there was a truck from like the main company, Evil Corporation, from the Spider-Man video game.
Roxxon? Isn't it like Roxxon?
Something like that. One of those trucks was on the set for the new movie. So
I saw like some Agent Venom rumors.
Yeah, who knows? I think that we'll maybe see though. Again, maybe that's why they remade Spider-Man for that video game. Maybe that kid's gonna show up in that movie. I don't think he'd have a big part, but
Agent Venom, man.
Cameo.
I'm seeing hey, look, whatever Kevin's gonna do, man. This next wave of the MCU is about to be crazy, and they're about to bring out that Falcon
Winter Soldier.
And, Winter Soldier show, which looks awesome.
That's great. Trailer was great.
Awesome. So, hey, man, look, Disney's on fire. Like
they got the schedule too. The schedule,
bro,
they're gonna have us one episode a week all year. So as soon as WandaVision is over, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then
hopefully we come back with some Star Wars. Because the Mandalorian single-handedly saved the Star Wars franchise. And there's another rumor that they're going to basically scrap the 3 films they just did and just do another 3.
Yeah, I don't think any of those are true. Those are the same rumors where they're like, everyone hates Kathleen Kennedy and they're trying to stage a coup and she's definitely gonna get kicked out. And they've been saying those rumors for I don't know how many years. And then every time you hear like, Jon Favreau or someone talk about her, they're like, yeah, she's great, whatever, she's fine. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. We're not doing any of that. So I think that's the same thing with the whole, they're going to rewrite the new ones. Jon Favreau recently came out and said, "Yeah, our show is going to lead up into the new trilogy. They don't need to rewrite it. You can just skip past it. You don't have to acknowledge it or anything. You don't have to build more stories in that time period."
I told you what I think they should do. Old Republic, man.
They're doing
Old Republic. Like old Republic should have always been the move, because then they can do whatever they want.
They're doing it. I mean, they're making the High Republic comics. I think just started, and then I think there's a TV show at least in the works for it as well, and I think that they want to make a movie too.
Old Republic is the move.
That'll be cool. Yeah, Star Wars is definitely going to fill that gap too. So when they start having Marvel, show gaps, it's going to be ping ponging right over to, oh, here comes Book of Boba Fett. Oh, here comes Mandalorian. It's going to be just back and forth every week. We're going to have some Star Wars or some Marvel to ingest, digest, whatever.
I ain't mad at that.
So
I'm not mad at that.
It's exciting. I'm enjoying it right now. I just wish that they would stop putting it out at 3 a.m. on Fridays still. But
hey, man, beggars can't be choosers, right?
You just put it out at a time we can all watch it.
They're like, nah, man, deal with them spoilers. Boy.
Deal with the nerds up at 3 a.m. who watched it and then they posted about it at 7 a.m. But
so okay, moving on to other things that look great, right? Mortal Kombat, man, looking pretty decent.
Looking good. I like the way all the people look. They said it's gonna have some fatalities. I think it's gonna be crazy. They got a lot of good fight people involved that should have some good fight scenes.
I appreciate the Asian casting. Like the one thing about the diversity movement in Hollywood and gaming and entertainment, just period, and that includes sports. I don't know if you know anybody in the sports, like Bruce Arians. Congrats to the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl, right? He has 3 assistant black coaches. He has 2 women on his staff. He has 2 female football coaches on his main staff, right?
Damn.
So the diversity movement. I think one of the women, one of them is Iranian. So I want to say like she's like from Iran, but I'm not sure. Like don't quote me on that. But I think one of them are Iranian. And you're starting to see like all this amazing stuff like happen how it's supposed to happen. So like we was talking about Ghost of Tsushima earlier, right? I finally finished it. The cultural relevance of the game is what makes it good. It's because it's a sucker punch game. It plays like a sucker punch game. You play the sucker punch game, you play Ghost of Tsushima. Okay. And that's no insult to sucker punch. Just y'all ain't hell of it like that. It's sucker punch game. Right. But the cultural stuff, man, like Mortal Kombat having like Asian casting the way it's supposed to be. Like the ninjas aren't just some random white dude in a suit, like the first Mortal Kombat movie.
And shout outs to the Mortal Kombat NetherRealm guys for kind of changing that when they were rebooting it and everything. That's how they made them in the games and stuff like that too. And I'm glad that they kept with that. In the movies. I mean, honestly, the dudes that they got in the movies almost look just like the dudes that they put into the
amazing.
game.
Yes, amazing, man. And it's just like, and people don't understand how much cultural adherence and relevance plays into us growing as a country, man. Like it matters. We're a melting pot, and like I'm the dude that gets mad, Aaron, if I walk into a Mexican restaurant and there's no Mexicans cooking the food. I get irate. I leave.
Well, that's when you just go, all right, well, this isn't like
this ain't it. Yeah, this ain't it, bro. I'm out. I'm that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm in a Chinese restaurant. What? There's no Chinese people making the food? I'm out. So I'm that guy. So I truly believe in these things, man. So like I think that Mortal Kombat film is gonna be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I guess my one issue with it is like their new guy who's like, they're doing the thing where they have a new character and that's how they introduce you, the audience, to the Mortal Kombat tournament and characters, is you're following the story of this new guy. He's just a white guy who's a UFC fighter. I'm like,
Or are they doing that to kind of sell it instead of just going with Liu Kang
so
like they should?
you're following him, and he's entering into that universe. But I'm like, oh, just a UFC guy. I'm like, for one, he better have some kind of heritage or something, because if you're not doing something supernatural like some of these other dudes, I don't care about your UFC, man. It's gonna throw
Now,
a bladed fan through your neck.
are they doing it to like have him as like a first person view of the story?
I mean,
Or is he like
he's the star.
story?
He's the star. It's his story. So
Why is Kang not the star of this film?
I don't know. That's where it's weird. It's like it's cool because they'll be able to hit a whole bunch of Mortal Kombat characters, and they don't have to care so much about fleshing out one of their stories to take up a whole movie. You know, it still opens up with like,
you know what,
real life Scorpion fighting Sub-Zero, and then like
I was about to say
with
it
him.
really. Now that I've like seen the story of Mortal Kombat for real, I think Mortal Kombat is really about the ninja clans.
Mm-hmm. And
Like,
they're still
that should really be like the main focus of the story is like the ninja clans.
yeah, and it's weird that and you know, maybe it'll come back around and tie into it, because they did either the movie opens or very early on, it just shows the backstory of Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and Scorpion when he's alive and then getting killed or whatever. So, you know, obviously there's got to be some major focus there. But yeah, it does, you know, the main kind of story plot is following this UFC guy, mixed martial art, MMA, I should say, MMA guy. So
Yeah,
I'm
but
like,
if he don't have any supernatural powers, how is he winning a fight?
that's what I'm like, and I'm like, so you know, maybe he'll get something. I hope he gets something. I hope he's not just like, this is what happens if an MMA guy gets a hold of one of these Mortal Kombat people. But it's like, I hope that they're holding the Mortal Kombat people in much higher regard.
You know what? Maybe they pull the rug from under your feet, Aaron, and they do like what they did in Warrior. Like, did you watch that show Warrior on HBO Max? Showtime, whatever. No, Cinemax. It was Cinemax, but it's on HBO Max now. You should watch it.
I think
Great
I've
show.
heard about it.
You have to watch it. Well, they put a UFC fighter in like the second season.
Was it like one of those what if fighting shows?
So it's based on a book that Bruce Lee wrote.
Oh.
And it's like, you know, it's about like Chinese Americans coming over to Chinese people migrating to America during during the Great Migration period, coming into San Francisco, the racism that they got faced with, and the and you know, how people didn't want them here, and you know, just, you know, that whole story, like it, you know, just America being America. You know what I'm saying? And it's a great show. Like, you should watch it. But in the second season, the main character fights a UFC fighter. And they kind of hype up this guy to be like this big battle, like, you know, with these two, like it's gonna go so real deep into the show, like the way they was hyping it up, and it's over in like one episode. Like in like one episode, it's a wrap, and he's out of there, right? And I'm saying, like, maybe they trying to set you up for the UAP, Aaron, and they like, yeah, the story's gonna follow so and so, and then in the first couple scenes, he gets waxed.
Yeah, maybe. I think we just already know enough about it that he won't. But you know, maybe he's relative to Johnny Cage, and all of a sudden he does like some friggin' the Flash Speed Force stuff. I don't know what his powers are called, but you know, flips across the thing and flies and kind of almost instantly teleports and kicks you super fast. And I'm like, you gotta have something like that. So that's what I'm banking on. I have to imagine that he'll get something, because you got to have some kind of superpower.
I hope they don't. Like, look, I'm gonna trust Nether. I'm gonna trust NetherRealms. I feel like, as far as story elements, they've made the best stories with their fighting games. So,
and this is one of those companies that are producing this that are like trying to do right by fans, and they're trying to make like the quintessential Mortal Kombat film. So, I think it'll be good in that regard. So that was cool. Yeah, there's a trailer. Go check it out. It's coming. I think it's supposed to come out this year. It's going to be on HBO Max.
Yeah,
as long as it's out this year.
Bro, HBO Max is quickly making Netflix like irrelevant. Like, I don't understand why you have Netflix. Like, I don't get it. Like They got Judas and the Black Messiah coming out on HBO Max. That film looks amazing. Like I have to watch that film. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know
story
what's
about
on
Fred
Netflix anymore, man.
story about Fred Hampton. Got to see that. Godzilla vs Kong. Got to see that. Mortal Kombat. Got to see that. Like, bro, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like that. Those are 3 major films that would be in box office.
Right. Netflix, I'm still. They got some animation shows on the way that they're still able to make animation shows. But even then, I used to be like, hey, they had like comedy specials, so it was good to like watch something funny every now and then. But they don't even have those anymore because nobody's recording any new ones.
See this? Half the comedy specials is trash. All right, like let's not lie.
Well, yeah, it was. They were coming out with like 10 a month, and I'd watch like one every couple months. But
even that first Dave Chappelle one was trash.
It was pretty long.
So even that first Dave Chappelle.
I'm looking. I like Kevin Smith and Mark Bernard, and they're working on that He-Man show, and I got high hopes for that one. I think it's from the people who do the Castlevania anime and stuff. It should look slick anyways and be a fun ride.
Hey, man, make sure you watch that Judas and the Black Messiah, man.
Is that a movie?
Make sure you watch that. Yes, man, it's a film, man. You gotta watch it, man. You have black mother effer.
Is it?
You need to watch Judas and the Black Messiah.
Is it a movie that's already been out, or is it like coming out for the first time?
I think it actually had been out. No, it hasn't. It comes out in 3 days.
Yeah, maybe it was on like the indie circuit stuff. 98%. Yeah, I'll watch that.
Yeah, come on, bro. Judas and the Black Messiah, bro. It's about Fred Hampton, dog. Come on, dog. You got to watch that, man.
Yeah, Daniel Kaluuya, Lakeith Stanfield.
We don't get films like we don't get films that hold. And this is like we're hopefully well, actually most of our friends watch this show and they kind of woke. I will say this, Aaron. We are blessed to have the white constituency that we have when it comes to like political beliefs. And I got to give Jay a lot of credit for that. Justin Summers was the I don't know if he's watching, but Jay, it was definitely a igniter to the political landscape for me. I don't know if it was for Aaron, but he was definitely a big influence.
I mean, I learned
how I view people.
I learned so much from that dude working with them.
Jay was amazing,
that was part of my growing up as an adult, honestly, is things I learned from him. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Jay was amazing. So he definitely is one of those people that's like super understands. Say like what you've been told about the Black Panthers your entire life is a lie. Like that is all a lie. Okay, like nothing that you've read about the Black Panthers or got told about the Black Panthers is factual at all. They're not represented properly in white America, and they get compared to like the Ku Klux Klan, which is a joke.
Well, they did to them what they've been trying to do to like Black Lives Matter movement. All they gotta talk about is they're just rioting and destroying cities. It's like, and that's what they were doing to the Black Panthers.
Yes, it was a joke. Those gentlemen got murdered. One in particular got murdered in his bed, with his pregnant wife in the bed. Like, believe me, okay, you got told some lies. So Judas and the Black Messiah is like essential because this is one of the first films, if not the first film. I think it's the first one that is getting publicized that's showing like Black Panther members in like more of a realistic historical light, So I'm glad that it got 98%. I'm glad that everybody's hyping it up, and it's probably gonna win an Oscar because it's one of those films that's made to win an Oscar. I don't know if y'all people know that, but they make films and write films that are specifically set up, okay, to win big ass awards. They just be like, all right, look, man, pin the gem. This one's getting an Oscar. Might not make no money, but we gonna get that trophy.
Yeah,
that's all they be worried about. We gonna get that trophy.
Well, yeah, there you go. It looks like it will be on HBO Max. So I'm watching that February 12th.
Friday. Let's go. Hey, I'm in there like swimwear.
I will have watched it by the next episode, probably.
So
there's your movie club assignment.
Hey, everybody needs to
talk about it.
Everybody needs to watch Judas and the Black Messiah. Everybody needs to watch Judas and the Black Messiah. Everybody needs to go play Ori in the Will of the Wisps.
That's two
Period.
main
Hey.
messages.
Didn't your brother buy it?
Oh yeah, my brother's been a big fan. Oh wait,
Come
no,
on,
oh
let's
no,
go.
no, he wasn't. No, he said he bought it because he heard you talking about it. I don't know if he's played it yet,
Come
but
on,
he picked it
man.
up.
You gotta play it, man. Everybody has to play it, man. So it's an artistic masterpiece, man. All right. So moving on. Lucas Games, okay.
Yeah,
Got more partners
they
out here in
they
the street.
they formed a proper Lucasfilm Games. I don't know if they had that because they had LucasArts and they closed it, but and then they had Star Wars and the EA games, but there wasn't like a Lucasfilm Games. So they made Lucasfilm Games. They announced more partnerships. The first one being Indiana Jones, first major AAA.
Let's get to the elephant in the room. Come on, Aaron. Get to the elephant in the room. Like, skip the BS. Come on, Aaron. Come on, man. Talk about the Indiana Jones games and why everybody cares. Come on, man.
Well, I mean, I don't know if anyone can think of I don't even know if there's ever been a good Indiana Jones game in the modern era. Yeah, well, but what's the last one they had that I remember seeing 100 copies of Kingdom and the Crystal Skull for the original Xbox or something on the shelves. Yeah, nobody liked it. So they're doing what they should have been doing all along. Take the property, give it to somebody who knows how to make video games. And this time they're picking up Machine Games with Bethesda and I guess Microsoft, who have made all the Wolfenstein games. So kind of right hand in hand with the Doom remakes, Machine Games has been there bringing back Wolfenstein. All their games have been pretty highly rated. It's interesting though. I don't know if I don't know what else they've made other than that. So we'll see what they do with Indiana Jones because it's not going to be a fast-paced first-person shooter, I would assume. But it's a studio that knows how to make video games, so that's nice.
Come on, great. Bro. So we're not just gonna throw this out there, bro. It's being made by Bethesda, bro. Okay, Bethesda. Well, Machine Games, which is owned by Bethesda, is not Bethesda, but Machine Games, which is under the you know what I'm saying?
They're in I'd put them up there with id Software, so
I'm just saying,
as opposed to Bethesda Softworks.
I'm just saying, Machine Games is a part of the family, okay? They're part of like that whole landscape. They were a part of the big ass purchase. Okay, the only reason anybody talked about this Indiana Jones game, come on, Aaron, ain't nobody care. The only reason people care is because they want to know whether it's going to be exclusive or not, so they can argue about it. Okay, otherwise we would have been like Indiana Jones game. Who gives a F?
Yeah, okay, I don't think it'll be exclusive. I think that's probably part of the deal. I would assume with Lucasfilm, they don't want their stuff to be exclusive.
I mean, Lucasfilm is owned by who?
Disney.
Okay. And Disney owns what? Other properties?
I don't know. Everything. Star Wars. Marvel.
Okay. Let's see. And one of their characters has an exclusive game on a console.
Well, to be fair,
you could argue
Sony
has, but Sony owns the film rights. Okay, I ain't heard not one time ever that they own the video game rights to Spider-Man. Spider-Man has came out on multiple consoles, even while Sony owned the film rights. Why does Spider-Man come out on one console?
I don't know. That might be out there. I'm curious. I feel like Sony would have paid up to be like, and then because it was made by well, now didn't they just buy finally buy Insomniac?
They bought Insomniac. Yep.
At the time though, they didn't.
And all that happened at the same time. They made the game. They bought Insomniac right after that game came out, which means they had already planned to buy them like a year ago because those deals take forever.
Like that game came out and it got its ratings and it sold, and then they said, "That's it."
I think Disney is saying, "Hey, look, if you want it, come pay for it. Otherwise, we good." Like, hey, that's what it
I mean,
is.
they knew Spider-Man was like their safe bet. They want everything Spider-Man, Sony, and entrenched. They but
That's a hell of a game to be exclusive.
it's such
That
a
is
weird.
a ludicrous game to be exclusive, bro.
They've only made first-person shooters. That's such a weird thing.
I
You know
think
what?
they're gonna make a third-person shooter, man.
You know what? I guess dudes who made the Star Wars game made Titanfall and Call of Duty. So
if you're a good developer, you're just a good developer, man. You can make it happen.
Yeah,
that's the best Star Wars game I've ever played.
Yeah, I really liked it, man. I really want another one. I'm ready for another one. I hope it doesn't take too long, but yeah.
Once I gave it a fair shot, I actually played it, and it was really, really, really good. But I played it on Series X, so I had that 60 frames a second in 4K, and it looked amazing.
Yeah, I tried that new update because that's one that came out and it had a lot of bugs and stuff too. But now it's like terrible. Solid now, and you can play it how I played it on PC, which was I played it in 60 FPS, like higher than 1080p. It was nice. I liked it.
I think it's gonna be. I think the new Indiana Jones game is gonna be Uncharted.
You'd feel like it's got to be, right? I mean,
I think it's gonna be Uncharted. I think it's gonna be Uncharted. I think it's gonna be Tomb Raider, and Microsoft is just gonna pay that bread to get it. Mm-hmm. That is my proposal.
You think they're gonna keep it on Xbox?
I think they're gonna throw, bro. If the deal's already in place, right? Like these deals don't just happen overnight. Nobody woke up and said, "Oh, we about to pay $7.5 billion for ZeniMax." That's not a thing. You don't just wake up and make that decision, right? So they had to have looked at the portfolio, and they had to have said, "They got this, they got this, they got this, they got this," and whatever the evaluation was, that everything that was in that portfolio, they said, "Look, man, we need all of that." So rather than and maybe. And this is just some boss type stuff because I love Satya Nadella. I think he's like the best CEO in tech. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure there was some type of price thrown on the floor where they was like, "Hey man, we're in a bidding war with everybody trying to get these games." And he looked at it and he said, "Why don't we just buy them?"
And said, and they was they wouldn't like it if we bought Sony, but what about these guys? We can just
just buy them. And it's like, what? You talking about the games? The games? No, man. The whole thing, bro. Get the whole thing. Like, did you ever hear the story about how Zuckerberg bought Oculus?
Yeah, he just tried it one time with the founder.
And said, "I need it. I want it." Said, "I want it." And they was like, "Oh man, yeah, we'll make you one." He's like, "No. You're misunderstanding what I'm saying. I want all of this. I want the whole thing. Here's the zeros, brother. Sign the check." Like, I love those stories. Yeah. Because it's like, what? Like, you want everything? Like, yeah, I need it all.
Yeah. I guess we'll see. I just feel like it would be part of the Disney contract to be like, but who knows? I don't know. I feel like the Disney contract would say put it on everything, so that everybody. Why would they want to make an
Indiana Jones game? It's Indiana Jones. Who cares?
Well, because they own it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a big money maker. They're about to make a new one. They're gearing up to make one more.
How much money did that last movie make?
No, they're gearing up for one more with Harrison Ford.
Let me see how much money that last movie made.
I mean, that was
the one with Shia LaBeouf in it.
Yeah, but that's pre-Disney. Disney takes everything and turns it into gold. So they're trying to do.
Harrison Ford is so old.
Because I think that they're gonna try to do what that Crystal Skull did, and they're gonna have probably a new person that they want to take over going forward. And they know they only got one more chance to do that.
So it's not gonna be Shia LaBeouf.
No, I think that he was getting back in some good graces, and then he didn't treat his last few girlfriends too well.
Well, hold on. Damn. Production budget was $185 million.
Yeah, dude.
On the last Jones film. The opening weekend, it made $100 million. Domestic box office made $317 million. Worldwide, it made $786 million. So
That's pretty good, honestly, for back then, especially.
That's really good. That was in 2008. That's really good. Okay,
Yeah.
I guess I'll take it back. I guess people care about Indiana Jones.
Even still,
So,
they still kind of canned it after that, but the next one's slated for July 2022.
hey man,
Indiana
okay,
Jones 5. So
I'll
I don't
take
know,
it back.
you know.
But I don't think. But I firmly believe, Aaron. I really do. I firmly believe that when Microsoft evaluated ZeniMax and they saw the whole portfolio, because these things are never just overnight, right?
Mhm.
They said, "Look, man, we need all of that. Like anything that's not announced. Now, if it's already announced, we can't. Ain't no reneging.
Mhm.
But if it ain't announced yet, it's ours. We need it, and I think that's what's gonna happen. I'm
Yeah.
putting because there's no way you pay that much money, even though to them it's nothing. Like which me and you talked about, like $7.5 billion for Microsoft's not a lot of money. It's just not.
Yeah.
Like I think they had at the time when they made that purchase, they had $38 billion in cash. Like, and for people who don't understand what that means when I say that, that $38 billion lying around, like just raw cash. Like they just had it. And they had to spend it on something. And it was like, well, you know, let's buy that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
They just made more money, I think, last year than they like
oh, in a
ever
quarter.
have.
No. Yes. And they made $15 billion in a quarter. 3 months. They made $15 billion. So they already made the money back for the purchase that they made like 4 months ago. They was like, oh yeah, we good.
Yeah, that's already took care of that.
It's already paid for. It's already paid for.
Well, we can talk about them again in a bit.
Who?
But yeah, Microsoft.
Oh no, man, we done with them, man. It's over. Unless you want to talk about the Xbox Live thing, which you know, which we
can get to that. I guess, and going along with that though, MLB The Show. I guess they already announced it was coming to Xbox, but it happened. You know, they announced the game. They got the game box art. It says it's an Xbox box, and it says PlayStation Studios in the bottom right. It's kind of cool to see. But
I swore, like I swore they taled about this.
They
last
probably
year.
did announce this. It's just that the game got announced with the cover and everything, so now everybody's talking about it.
Because I was sitting there like, wait a minute. I remember last year they said that this was the last year that this baseball game was going to be exclusive, and I had already figured that it's because of like the Major League Baseball players. You know, they're unionized, and it's probably some type of collective bargaining agreement, and they're trying to make the most money.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, man, it can't be exclusive. Like it's 140 million people that can't play it.
Yeah. So I guess cool for the baseball fans who used to be Xbox fans, but then they had to buy PlayStations. Stadia is dead. They closed all their game studios. They said they're going to shift to commercial stuff. It sounds like they're just going to do stuff like that Control game had on like Switch. And there was another game that has it too, where you can buy the game on the Nintendo store, but then you buy like a streaming client to play it from somebody's hosting. I don't know whose it is, but I think that's what they're going to start doing for companies. They're going to start saying, hey, you want to put that game on Switch? You could put it on, we got this whole Stadia thing. It's like top of the line.
I probably think that Google just has it as like their competitor to Apple. Like, Apple has like their game store. And I think they just want to have like a competitor in the space.
Yeah, but I mean they shuttered their game studios, so they're not making games anymore. They're
correct.
Just
but I think they don't really think they need it if that's really all it's gonna be.
Like, I think it's they were just like,
so think of it. Hey bro, you just bought a Google Chromecast Ultra. Aaron. Hey man, you can get this. Comes with a controller. If you want to play some games, you play some games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's how they're gonna.
Yeah, they're just gonna double down on the service of it, and not try to be a. Yeah, less ambition, but that's wise. It wasn't gonna work, so.
Not the way they got it set up, and I think Amazon's doing the same thing.
I will say I tried it. I did that thing when they gave me 3 free months and a free Chromecast Ultra just for being a Google person. And I waited until the last week of the free subscription to boot it up on my computer. And I played Hotline Miami with a mouse and a keyboard, and it was playable. I was like, I thought that would be a good test because that game is, you move a cursor around to aim, and it was pretty playable. I was surprised, honestly. I was like, that's pretty good. Looked good. Sounded good. But I don't know. They just don't, maybe if they did something like they bundled it with YouTube Premium, and then they could really do that thing where you're watching a streamer play a game and then you can literally click a button and play it. But it was too much money. I mean, kids aren't going for all that.
I played Hitman on it.
That's probably a good one. I would have liked to try like Doom or something.
I thought it was super dope.
I should have tried a first-person shooter. That's probably, I think, the real testament to how good the latency is or whatever.
I mean, look, man, I think it's ultimately just going to end up being just a service. And it's just, they're going to just say, hey, why get an Apple TV? We can get a Chromecast and play real games instead of playing those Apple games in the Apple Arcade. And it's just something else to get people, to do that. Now, I think that the problem will be if Microsoft, again, I guess going back to them, puts in that deal with LG or Samsung and they get xCloud on televisions.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like the competition in that space is like next level.
It's going to be tough too, because they're going to have to, they're probably not going to be making as much money as Microsoft, and they're going to have to keep up with that infrastructure. Every machine they have in the network is going to be out of date sometime. And they're going to have to upgrade all of the hardware. So we'll see if it makes it that far or if they just decide to can it before that. But yeah. So nice try, Google, but not this time. And I guess the only quick topic we had is the Resident Evil tall lady is tall. Confirmed she's tall. That game looks pretty good. I didn't play 7. I think that multiplayer game that they're making for it looks like trash. But the actual Resident Evil 8 Village looks pretty nice. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be it's gonna be one of the first kind of real next gen games. So that'd be cool to
see. How tall is she? 10 feet?
9 foot something. So she's actually taller than any of the other tyrants and all that stuff. She's taller than Tyrant, who was the next tallest one. But I think it'll be a cool twist, as if she's some kind of I don't think so. I think what she's going to end up being is an actual perfected like tyrant, like what they were trying to make with like Mr. X. They were kind of getting them to look less monstrous and more like humans. I think that she is the first, completed tyrant project or whatever. So, which I think was that's a cool way to do it. But we'll see. It's just surreal though. I don't know if you saw the footage of like when he walks into the room, and because it's first person, it's like the perspective you almost can't tell, but her chair is just huge, and then she stands up and like he's like looking up, and you're just like, whoa, and she's like bigger than the doors and stuff. I mean, it looks cool. I mean, that game looks phenomenal. So pretty exciting, but I don't know. I still haven't played 7. I like Resident Evil, but that game looks real scary, and I'm gonna have to like find somebody to watch me play it or sit next to me or something. So yeah.
He said you gotta find somebody to sit next to you.
I'm terrible with scary. I don't know. I liked Resident Evil so much. I bought all the game. I got all them GameCube ones. Like them things are like, I don't know how much those are worth now, but they ain't cheap. I got like the Resident Evil 2, 3, Code Veronica ports on GameCube. I played all of them. Had the hardest time, man. Them games are scary and they're hard and stressful. But I don't know. Then 4 and 5 and 6 were just fun. But so I'll catch up someday. I
All
also
right.
I was trying to play
Are we
VR
ever,
in
are we
seven,
ever
but
gonna play anything together? By the way, are we ever gonna pick a game to play? Like ever?
shit. I don't know.
We don't play anything together. Nothing.
Nothing. I mean I barely.
Last time we played a game together was when Super Smash Brothers Brawl came out.
Did you come over and play that? Oh, like after
Yeah,
work one day or something?
I came to your house and we played it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That was it the night of?
Yeah, the night of, and we was playing
We
through the
played the
story mode.
2-player mode. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, I don't. I'm like, I mean, after this pandemic and everything's over, I feel like we just gotta try to do some in-person
Alright.
shows. Maybe I gotta someday realize us in front of a green screen, standing behind this counter. And it wouldn't be hard. We just got to be in person and be on a green screen.
Hey man, look, man. I'm sure, man. We will make it happen. Okay. So, all right. So I guess I'm gonna let you get your first rant off in the first 4 episodes. You know, I've ranted. You haven't ranted. So okay, and
I just
the
got a
floor
few.
is yours.
I just got a few things to say
Vicarious
about
Visions, given the Blizzard.
it.
Go ahead.
Activision is
Thing.
now completely the house of Call of Duty. They gave away Vicarious Visions to Blizzard to be sacrificed to Blizzard, because who knows how many employees and studios have been sacrificed to them. They can't put out a game to save their life, but Overwatch 2, I think, was announced at the beginning of last year or before that. And it's still not even supposed to come out this year. They've been remaking Diablo 2 for forever, which is apparently something that Vicarious Visions might go help with. They tried to make a new World of Warcraft for like the last 20 years, and it's never happened. Not 20 years, but 10. So now they're in that camp, and their work will just forever be, a blob in the credits of Overwatch or Diablo, which is sad because they brought back Crash Bandicoot, and it did bonkers sales, did very well, released on all platforms. Everyone was like, wow, this is how you can do this. Then Toys for Bob took their formula and their guidance and made the Spyro trilogy. And then they said, let's do Tony Hawk. And then they brought back Tony Hawk. They did 1 and 2. Everyone loved it. The first loved Tony Hawk game since PlayStation 2. And Activision has tried several times to get that back on its feet. And they finally did. And then they said, hey man, Papa Blizzard really needs your help. So go over to them. Which sucks. I just feel like they're kind of like Valve, right? Where like they used to make games that they liked and that they were passionate about, and that people liked them. They made good games, and now it just seems like they're another company like Valve, where it's about they got to make the money. So it's what's making money. Overwatch. We need new Overwatch stuff all the time. Everyone work on Overwatch. Diablo 3, I mean, did kind of good, but it was just like, how do we make money off the auction house? We need new items. We need new everything. And then started off real bad. People did not like that game when it first came out. StarCraft has just kind of been dead for a while. They haven't done anything with that. They just look at Overwatch. It's making all the money. So they got to do that. I don't know. And, like Valve, they just stopped making games. So like, well, we got Steam now. And we just got to do whatever makes the most money. And we're not going to really do that game stuff anymore. So that just sucks. It's like they've just been sacrificed to them now. And then Activision has all Call of Duty studios except Toys for Bob. So like, I think Toys for Bob, they're doing that Crash Bandicoot 4. And then who knows, maybe they'll just get sacrificed to Blizzard as well. But every other studio that they have now is just a studio that works on Call of Duty. One of the two, main ping-ponging Call of Duty games. Which is crazy to think about because Activision was so big. And I really didn't realize that they were only Call of Duty now, pretty much. So that's crazy and unfortunate. Maybe Toys for Bob will make Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 and use the same engine. At least they have an engine that works, but we'll see. But it's weird. It makes me think about what I wonder what Activision and Blizzard. I wonder who makes more money. I think it's probably Blizzard. I wonder, who wears the pants in that relationship. and if they're just kind of does Activision
Well,
just exist to make Call of Duty now as a partner with Blizzard? I don't even know. It's weird. It's weird that they, and it's like they don't even have a direction. It's like they make so much money off of Call of Duty. You'd think they'd be doing stuff to do more, but they're just doubling down on Call of Duty, and that is it. So, I don't know. That's a weird situation. From the former biggest, baddest guys in the games industry. So, yeah, I'm mad. Me and my man's Tony. Upset.
You and your mans.
I opened that up and I had the Pizza Hut the Pizza Hut demo disc that had Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 on it. I didn't even know I kept this thing, but it popped out of that case. That was like everybody's introduction.
So the first Aaron rant. It wasn't really a rant.
Not too much. Like I said, I looked into it a little bit. I had some insight because I was like, what is going on? I was like, why would they do this? But I think that's what was going on. So it's weird. So yeah. With that said, there's a lot of people who are angry about it, and it's unfortunate. I'm just hopeful maybe somebody will use that engine and we'll get some more content, or people will hack the crap out of it, and in a year or two we'll have every Tony Hawk level ever hacked into the game somehow. So maybe that's fine too. But
Okay.
But our last news topic is Xbox. I've been itching to hear your take on it, but I was fairly perplexed. To me, it just kind of came off as a really ballsy move by Microsoft, but they came out and said basically it's what, $15 a month, period. We don't care how much you pay, or like there was a little bit of a discount still if you bought like a year, but not nearly as much.
Look. There are certain things about Xbox Live that I appreciate that I don't think that are kind of underrated, right? And this is before we get to the price thing. For instance, all of your game saves are in the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're a PlayStation user, like I own both consoles, I got my setup back there, right? It's a feature that you don't really think about until you have it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Aaron, if I told you you could play, I don't know, say you played, we were talking about Ghost of Tsushima earlier. Ghost of Tsushima. Play it, get to a certain part in the game, and your console breaks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck, console's bricked. Gotta get a new console. You go get the new console. Or say they come out with an upgrade. Let's not even say it bricked. Say the new slim PS5 comes out and you want it because you're like, all right, I got this big PS5. I want a smaller one. You go get the new PS5. You didn't finish Ghost of Tsushima. You get the new PS5. You put it in. You trade it in your old one. You turn it on. Guess what you got to do on PS5? Got to start over. Completely.
What?
From scratch. Yes, you do. It's not saved in the cloud. There's a game file save attached to your console. It's not attached to PSN.
They got a cloud. No, they got cloud saves.
Bro,
there's a whole screen that I just went to recently.
Yeah, it's not automatically put there, is what I'm saying. Okay? Like I play God of War. I installed God of War on my PS5. Guess what I got to do if I want to play God of War right now? Well, I have to start over. Like I don't have a choice.
Yeah. I will say they got it though, because you can set it up, because I went through this with Kingdom Hearts 3 when I played almost the whole game and then my save got corrupted and I went, what about the cloud? What do I got it in the cloud? And they were like, nope. I was like, God.
Yeah. It's like on the 3, you have to go do it manually.
Yeah. And there were options to set up auto, but it wasn't on. And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know why I wasn't on, but
So like the first game I saw this with, and I don't want to misconstrue it like it doesn't exist. It's like on the Nintendo Switch, like whatever, like it's attached to the console.
yeah, well, they have cloud now if you pay for it, and only for
Yeah.
certain games.
So I don't want to mischaracterize these things. But like Halo 3, for instance, right? First game that I remember Microsoft doing this with. So this was like what, 2007.
Mm-hmm.
Halo 3 branched across every console. If I turn on Halo 3 right now in the MCC, my gamer tag has Halo 3 attached to it. I never had to do anything. It has everything I ever did in Halo 3.
Damn.
Period. Everything I ever did. Everything I ever did in Halo 2. Everything I ever did in Halo 4. Everything I ever, like, I don't have to do anything. Gears of War, it's automatically there. Everything I ever did in any of these games, I never have to do anything. It's all in the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I don't know, like Forza, the same thing. So I don't know if people remember when they invested in all those Azure servers a couple years back. That was a part of like the whole thing. So, like every game that I've ever played on Xbox has my save file attached to my gamer tag. It's not on the console. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
So like that was like one of the underlying things I remember with Xbox Live, and I was like, man, I'm surprised they didn't increase the price. Like I remember when that first happened, I was like, they're going to increase the price, and they did, and they didn't. And then like obviously like the latency, like they got the best latency in the business. They have the most secure servers in the business. They have like all the things that you remember happening. Remember like the PlayStation 3 file breach, the data breach.
Mm-hmm.
Never gonna happen. You remember like like when we would have PSN down. Remember when PSN was down for like 2 weeks? You remember like PSN was down for like 2 weeks?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Never gonna happen. So I think from Microsoft's perspective, and I still think it's trash. So I'm saying all this to say this is trash, like regardless. From Microsoft's perspective, they're saying like, we're better than everybody else. Of course, we're gonna charge more, but it's trash because it should be free anyway.
That's my thing. Is that I thought
Always been.
I thought something like this was coming, but that they would give you more. I thought, okay, well, $15 a month basically, but give me games with give me cloud gaming, along with it, and then I think that would be a great bundle. But
why would you get Game Pass then?
Well, I mean, like, that's the thing is like roll it into that. I don't know, like, like roll gold into Game Pass. Get everyone to pay a little bit more every month. Everyone's on Game Pass. Your Game Pass vision comes to fruition. You know, I don't know, something like that. But instead, they were just. It's like their goal was get you to pay more for gold, so that you're only paying a little less than Game Pass, and then you just upgrade to the full blown get cloud gaming and gold. But that's the common consumer is not all they just see price hike.
and that's my take is there should have never been. If the price hike was going to happen, I figured it would have happened back when the things I'm talking about start happening. And I don't feel like enough news coverage kind of covered that. Do you understand how amazing that is, Aaron?
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, like I have not had to concern myself with where's my save file no matter what game I bought. Like I was like, oh yeah, I'm turn on Gears 3. Psh, it still got everything I ever did.
I mean, it took
all that stuff I unlocked, everything I ever did. And that was on the 3.
It took Sony like a generation and a half to catch up to them on features. They had nothing on PS3, and then even on PS4, it took them a while to catch up on features that were on Xbox Live Gold since the 360 came out.
So it's just like I understand. Like I always thought the price hike was coming, and the fact that we never had one was like crazy, bro. Why they're not charging more for this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I still thought that it was trash because they had already established the value. Like you're paying $60 because we ain't getting hacked. We don't have service crash for 2 weeks. We don't have security breaches. We don't have like all your save files go across the cloud automatically. It ain't no special thing in the options. I don't got to go turn nothing on. I don't have to. Like, it's just going to happen. It's there. It's going to like all your games go in continuity, attach to your gamer tag. Everything stays the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, well, I get it.
Well, the problem is that they already established, they already cheapened the value of it by never raising the price.
Exactly. So once that was the thing, I'm like, well, you can't raise the price now.
Especially when Sony's offering the equivalent almost, and they give you games every month too, and whatever, and it's $55 a year.
By the way, much better games than Microsoft gives because Sony doesn't have Game Pass. And the funny thing about PS Now is very, very good. They just don't put new games on it. If Sony ever pulled the trigger on putting new games on PS Now, it'd be better than Game Pass.
Yeah, because I don't think they just don't know what they want to do.
I think Sony's ridiculously stupid for not taking the subscription money. Whatever person made the decision that selling the new game makes more money than the subscription, fire him now. Fire him. Fire him today. Get him out of there. Y'all need a better business practice. Because if you think selling that $70 game to 20 million people is more profitable than getting 100 million people to pay you $5 or $10, whatever, $10 a month, you're stupid. Because your homeboy Satya Nadella, going back to him, just made $15 billion in 3 months. And I hope you don't think he did that selling Windows.
Or selling computers.
Yeah, or selling computers. Or selling or selling the Office suite.
I mean, it's selling those things, but in subscription forms.
Subscription. and Office suite is $7 a month. So
the commercial prices and stuff are crazy, but I mean they were able to successfully convert commercial over to it too. They used to pay all that stuff a la carte, buy the new Office suite one time and hang on to it for way too long, and then they said, all right, well, we're gonna put it all online, or you can download it and you just pay this much and you'll always have the latest stuff. And now everybody does it.
You got permanent tech support. The whole entire Adobe suite is subscription only. You can't buy Photoshop no more. Subscription. So to me, that's the thing that's all Sony needs to do. Like,
I'm sure they want a price hike PlayStation Plus as well. And they pushed a lot. I think that value they hit with that PS5 game library add-on you get with just almost every notable PS4 game. That's a big push to be like, you need something to play because you just got this, right? Here's every PS4 game. Just sign up for PlayStation Plus.
PSN is just as good as Xbox Live from a value perspective. The only thing it doesn't have is the security features. And yes, is that a big deal? Probably. But that's also why, guess who Sony hired to handle their game streaming services? Because they have one in the works. I don't know if people know that. Okay. They're already working on it. They just won't say it. But yeah, they hired Microsoft. Their entire suite is going to work on Azure, which means it's going to come with the security features of the back end of Microsoft. So once that's introduced, it's just as good.
Right.
Because they're the same architecture. So, yeah, I just think Sony just needs to pull the trigger. Put the new games on PSN, on PS Now. Put the new games on there. And everybody's going to get. And you can charge a premium price for it. Game Pass $15, whatever. $20 a month for PS Now, and you go pay.
Yeah. I think the most obvious thing, though, is that they should just be they should be including the plus and the gold in with the game streaming, or at least they should have a bundle that says just pay this much more a month. And yeah, you might not get the bigger yearly discount, but if you look at the monthly price, it's only this much more a month, and you get all of this, and you get game streaming. I think that's the only way they're going to lure more people into that, but we'll see.
Way.
Or they just ditch gold and they say, you know what, if you want, well, maybe they take like one feature out of gold, and then they're like, if you want that feature and game streaming, you just got to get Xbox. Well, what is it called? Xbox cloud gaming for Xbox. What do they call it?
They call it Xbox
with cloud gaming.
Xbox Cloud Gaming or something. xCloud was such a good name. I don't know why they have the worst naming people.
Yeah.
Like their marketing guys, man, terrible, man.
They're like, xCloud is the beta name. We can't use that. But
so
that's still what I want to call it. But I watched something recently that was about it was this video by this guy I follow, and it's called why your favorite game doesn't matter, and it was just talking about game journalism and criticism in general, and trying to get people to be like, no one cares if you don't like something. If other people like it, that's all that really matters. No one cares about, and he was like, no one cares about the console wars. Here's a clip from some other video he pulled up of this guy breaking down the numbers, and he, which I've already heard you do before, but he was like, Sony makes this much money, and he was like, Microsoft makes this much money.
They're not comparable companies.
He's like, they're not really competing with this company because when they do bad, it doesn't really hurt this. It's
like Microsoft's
Sony's
not,
the one that has to stay alive.
So I'm gonna quote Rich again on something. So Rich always used to say this. He used to say, your favorite company, it isn't like say you bring up like let's bring up something Microsoft was bad at. Windows phones, right? Who owned a Windows phone, Chris? Nobody, bro. Ha ha ha. Right? Why did we make Windows phones? And he was like, and I used to ask Rich, well, why they even do this? It's so stupid. Rich would always say, they can't let Apple make all the money. That was his response. Like, even if it's only 3%, guess what that's 3% Apple ain't getting.
Yeah.
That's how much money we got to blow to make sure you don't get 3%.
Yeah, make sure that you know that other people could compete. You just don't want to, or maybe we'll try and maybe it'll take off. And if it doesn't,
whatever, you ain't getting it. That's money you're not making. Yeah. That's all we care about. Like you're not making that. That's 3% we get to put up. So
they got so much funny money. I mean, it's just you can just say, well, here's the plan. If this plan goes well, we'll make a lot of money, and if it doesn't, we got money to waste.
Yeah, whatever. Got to spend it on something. So I'm like, so they're not comparable companies. So, and I think people forget that. I'm like, bro, if Apple decided tomorrow they were going to make a game console, they could make somebody irrelevant because of the amount of money that they have in the amount of, in the infrastructure. If they cared to do it, like if they woke up and said, yeah, you know what? We gonna get in there. We deciding tomorrow we're gonna do this. Like, bro, that's a problem because the companies are comparable. So this is like the first time that you're seeing one of the big three care. Because you could argue Microsoft ain't never really cared. So they've never put taken massive amounts like with Windows, right? Mm. They're not taking the same amount of money that they're investing in cloud infrastructure. Like when they built those Azure servers and they spent $4 billion just on the East Coast. It was like, yeah, man, look, man, we got to make sure we got all the data centers. We need all the data centers. And so I'm like, it's
even, I mean, and all that data center stuff is cloud gaming was a afterthought. They were like, well, we're getting all these for business. This is cloud infrastructure. Man. This is
we need that for enterprise. We need that so Ford Motor Company trusts us with all their private data. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, hey man, we need this entire infrastructure across the company.
Right.
Yeah. So how much? So how, we gonna pay this much, and it's like 9 zeros on this check.
And then they were like, what game streaming is a thing? And you need what? You need data centers to be close to people? Well, we got the most data centers. So we got Xboxes. Throw some Xboxes. So, yeah, well, that was I think that was another throw it at the wall and see what sticks. That one did not stick. They immediately went back on it and also said that, hey, and what was the other thing that they said that they're gonna make a part of Gold that wasn't?
Oh, free to play games will now not require a Xbox Live subscription.
Yeah, they were the last people to still force that. So
yes, and the only reason they did it is because Halo is going to be free to play. I'm not stupid, Aaron. Like, come on. So the only reason that they did this, I figured that at some point they were going to do this because Halo was going to be free to play, but they just pushed it up.
Right, and they were like, we were doing this too. So you know what? We're gonna do that. Sorry, it is coming. Sorry, very much. Sorry, a million times. But
reneged on that price quick. But yes, it was trash. That was my take, Aaron. It was trash. Stupid idea. Whoever had the idea, I mean, hey man, why does Xbox Live cost more than Microsoft Office?
Right.
Like, make that make sense. Like, oh yeah, this thing just to play games online is gonna cost $10 a month. Microsoft Office costs $7 a month.
It is weird. I mean, I guess it's infrastructure to keep up. And really all it is we want to keep getting away with making the money we're making on this now. Now that everybody's used to it, we want to keep making that money.
Even though we made $15 billion last quarter. Yeah. In profit.
Well, it wasn't by being dumb.
Hey, in profit, Aaron, not net earnings. So I'm scared to know what they actually brought in, but they made 15 billion in profit.
Yeah. Like crazy. But this pandemic has been very good for them. And people Enterprise, we spent so much money. My company just did it too. We're all 365 now.
Yeah, of course.
Well, we definitely had enough show for a whole show, 2 shows maybe. I guess we can
How long like 2 hours?
Yeah, not counting. We've probably been actual live for just about 2 hours almost.
Hey man, it didn't feel like it this time.
Yeah. I guess since we said we would say it, I would just quickly say my piece on 2021. I think Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be this year. I think we're just waiting for the Mario anniversary to be done with, because once that one's done, it's the Zelda 35th anniversary, and then it's going to be all Zelda all the time the rest of the year. So that'd be big. Okay. I don't think I'm starting to really go back on another Switch model that it just keeps coming out of the woodwork, out of the rumor mill and everything, just saying, no, they're still really not planning on a kind of upgraded Switch, even just like a same thing but a little bit better. So we'll see. I hope so, but I'm kind of like maybe not. I think we'll just it'll be the year of Zelda. They'll maybe re-release the Wii U Twilight Princess and Wind Waker remakes, and then it'll be Breath of the Wild 2 at the end of the year, and that'll be most of their year. But Sony is like, I don't think God of War is gonna make it this year. But,
it's not.
Horizon is supposed to, I think.
Horizon will, God of War will not, and it should not. God of War should not come out this year.
I did just look at it. David Jaffe said he thought it was a PS4 game as well, but he doesn't work there anymore. I'm thinking it's going to be a PS5 game.
Exclusive. I think it's going to come out on both, because it would be foolish. They can't produce enough consoles. The last God of War game sold 20 million units. Okay? It can't sell less than the last God of War game. and if you bring out, so you can't sell 20 million copies of something. Go to your investors and say, this is our big game, right?
They got to
And
sell 20 million PlayStations by next holiday.
they sold 20 million copies with 140 million units in the wild. Okay, so
Yeah.
come on, Aaron, you're good at math. Okay, so let's think about the attach rate. Okay, it was a great attach rate, but they sold 20 million with 140 million units out there. Okay, that's not a feasible. You can't sell that to the investors, bro. You can't go to them and be like, "Hey, man, look, you know this game we spent all this money on. We sold 20 million units of. We're gonna sell less this time. Y'all cool with that?"
Up front, eventually they would sell that much.
Eventually, bro. Come on. They're gonna put it on PS4, or they're gonna wait. Which is, if they wanted to be PS5 only, they should wait.
Yeah.
Until they get about 50 million PS5 sold, then you put out God of War.
Yeah. Well, so I'd say definitely not 2021, but Horizon,
which they might.
Horizon will be this year. I think that Sony's probably going to partner with Capcom a lot to push Resident Evil. Push it for PlayStation.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a PS5 marketed game for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
And I think there's probably more stuff. I wanted to look into the release calendars, but they're always so annoying to look at because it's like, we got 3 games that we know of a release date, and then there's like all of these games that are probably, they said were going to come out this year. So I don't know, but I think that, Horizon's going to be a big thing. Resident Evil is going to be the big thing. I don't really know what else, like big first party stuff might be ready, but
I mean, you got Horizon.
Ratchet and Clank is still coming out, right?
Ratchet and Clank, yep. I'm actually about to look at my PS5 and pre-order that if it's available, because I'm buying that for sure, like no question.
Yeah.
So you got Ratchet, you got Horizon, you got Halo.
What is what do they got coming out of Bethesda?
I think Starfield coming out this year.
I don't.
I do.
I think no way.
I think that's why it was a bidding war for it. I think they're gonna show it at E3, and I think it's coming out this year.
I think they aren't physically capable of making a Starfield that comes out this year that isn't another Cyberpunk fiasco.
I'm just saying, we don't know how done it is. We don't know shit about Starfield. Like, really nothing at all. They haven't showed anything.
Yeah.
Everything we've seen has been leaked. Like, we've seen nothing official. And they've allegedly been working on this game for quite a long time. So I think my big prediction this year is Starfield is coming out in November. No, I'm sorry, not November, September. Reverse.
September.
It's coming out in September. I think they're going to show it at E3 because we don't know anything about it. So it's like, it could have been something. It could have been the main reason that they got bought.
That's true.
Like the game, it could have been the thing that because apparently there was a bidding war on it. Like Sony was bidding on that game.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's all alleged. We don't know.
Right.
It could have been something that Bethesda kept under wraps. They've been sitting on it. They showed it to everybody. And they said, "Hey, this is it right here. This is it."
I guess the latest is 2021 at the earliest is what they said. So, guess it's possible.
I think that's the one. And if it does come out this year, I think Starfield could be for the Xbox what Oblivion was for the 360.
Yeah. I guess as far as the super hype games, though, I feel like that's pretty much it. I think there's going to be a lot of weird other stuff. Some of those League of Legends spinoffs, I think, are going to be pretty popular. I think we're going to see a lot of,
What about that Warhammer 40K game? You interested?
Only a little, just because of the type of game. It's like I would never mind, playing a game like that with some friends and running through it. So I think it'll do well enough, and I think there's a lot of Warhammer people who will buy it regardless. Which one?
Stalker 2.
I never played the first one. Didn't they just give that to me for free?
You didn't play Stalker 1?
Mm-mm.
You PC guy never played
Oh
Stalker?
wait, no, that's a big one too. No, I never played those, but we were talking about this one, and it was interesting to look into the history of that one.
I'm really surprised because you're a super PC guy, and it's like a cult classic game. Like Stalker 1, like remember when we was watching it, I knew exactly what it was as soon as I saw it. I was like, yo, that's Stalker.
Yeah, it's a spooky game. That's what I always heard, anyways. But
it's spooky, but it's not scary. No, it's spooky, but it's not scary. It's like post-apocalyptic survival type thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Resident Evil. It's more like, more like Fallout-ish. It's just more spooky.
Yeah, it seems like it has a little bit of fear in there, though. A little bit of but
the PC community exploded, bro, when they announced that game.
I've always been kind of a PC casual when it comes to the PC games, though.
What about Flight Simulator?
I never played those. You know what? I played those one time. It was in a GameStop when I was like a kid, and I walked up and they had the whole Flight Simulator. It was like a keyboard and a mouse, and a TV, and I was like, cool video games, and I could not make the plane move.
Get the plane. I'm trying to think of something else. Oh, Sony got Tokyo something. What is it called? Tokyo damn man, hold
on. Talking about that weird the Bethesda spooky or no, that I thought it was a Capcom game.
No, it's a Bethesda game.
I know what you're talking about though. I can picture it. The one of those trailers that they showed kind of.
Hold on. Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
Capcom's got a different one.
And that is a PS5 exclusive.
All right, I finally pulled something up. Yeah. I'm excited about Super Mario 3D World.
I think that might be the one, man. Ghostwire Tokyo, man. I think it's gonna be fire.
Man, there's really. Next Monster Hunter is the Switch one. Resident Evil, Mass Effect Legendary. I mean, maybe. I'm not gonna get it. It looks fun. Far Cry 6 is this year, I guess, summer. With Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah. One of the best actors of our generation. That gets no credit.
Well, Gran Turismo is this year, huh?
That should be great. I mean, I expect nothing else but greatness from that.
Ooh, I tell you what.
Hey, put on this Ghostwire Tokyo video.
And somebody did include God of War Ragnarok. I still am doubtful.
It's set up for 2021, but I just don't think it's coming out.
Right.
I don't think it's coming out this year because I just don't think the numbers will support it. It's a 20 million unit seller. You can't bring that game out without the infrastructure to sell it.
I mean, I guess, or it comes out this year, and you're right, they do put it on PS4.
You got to put it on everything.
I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to. That Battlefield 6 is coming back this year, and I am pumped for that because they're gonna go. All the rumors are
160,
128 players.
Let's go. That's gonna be crazy.
And some of the biggest maps ever, and modern, modern warfare guns and stuff. Not this World War stuff, which I've never been a fan of actually playing in video games. I would much rather use guns that, are better and were designed to be better.
Is this what that new engine that Bethesda had been working on?
I don't know. And the weird thing about this is that it had that woman attached to it, and then she left the company. But I mean, this looks great, and it looks like a great time, and it's a Japanese game, I believe, right? I thought. I'm pretty sure. So,
I think
hopefully some quality control.
Yeah, their Japanese studio is apparently working on this game. Bethesda's Japanese studio.
And it looks great. This is going to be one of those games too that it's going to come out and everyone's going to buy it. They already got that, which is good. Because there's certain games that just build this kind of hype, and then everyone talks about it, and then the gaming world we live in now, it seems like there's got to be like some kind of new hype game for the month, and there are people who will just buy whatever that game is. That will be this game when it comes out.
PS5 exclusive.
And everyone will buy it.
Yep.
They will shift the release date and make sure that there is no competition so that they can be that game. Yeah, console exclusive, huh?
Console exclusive. Ghostwire Tokyo.
What does that mean, man? Does that mean I get to play it on my computer too if I want to?
Probably. Just not on your sex box.
Yeah, no Xbox allowed.
Sex box.
Yeah, that's about it for me. I think that Battlefield though has a really good chance at I think that they ditched Battle Royale, which it's time. Nobody cares anymore. But Call of Duty is all in on this Warzone still. And I mean,
I think it has like 160 million players.
Do people does it still have that?
160 million players, bro.
I know that like people watch it, but I'm like, I don't know anyone who still actually cares.
Okay, so this is what we'll leave on. What's the most watched thing, the most watched gaming content on YouTube?
People playing Warzone.
No.
People playing Minecraft.
Yes. So when you ask, do people still care? Well, Minecraft still the most watched thing on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm just like, I feel like it caters itself to streamers and it's like a go-to, but I just don't know a lot of people who were still passionate about it to play it. I mean, it's also nice in that really what it is it's free Call of Duty, but you don't get to play the normal Call of Duty multiplayer. You have to play Battle Royale.
People don't care because they're like, yo, I get to play Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's that same speed and run around. It's a great game engine. So fun. Love Modern Warfare a whole lot. Did not buy the new one because, again, I don't care about older Warfare weapons. And I feel like the developer doesn't seem like as good of a game. But I played Warzone for a little bit, though. And I was like, I don't like this, man. For one, I paid for the game. And I like playing the multiplayer stuff. It's faster paced. It's not as long form. Starting to get tired of like running around for 20 minutes and then like getting into one gunfight and losing. So like, I think that Battlefield's gonna really bring the hype and try to be like, hey, they're just gonna sell you another Warzone season this year. I heard that the rumor is that there is a race for the next Call of Duty game to be ready, and it could be one of two games, whoever finishes it first. Which is wild to me, but I can see it.
So you think Battlefield and Call of Duty are fighting for who comes out first?
I think it's gonna be a big fight this year, bigger than it's been since Bad Company 2, I'd say. As long as they play their cards right and they don't do anything stupid, they keep getting weird controversies about their games at launch or they're buggy or something. But I mean, Battlefield 6 has been in the they've been working on it for a long time. When did 5 even come out? And that's the advantage that they have. I mean, it came out in November of 2018, so it'll have at least 3 years since then. And I think they were already working on it when that game came out. So in contrast to a Call of Duty game that gets at most 2 years total to crank out a new title, we'll see. Hopefully they come out with some polished game, but I'm just looking forward to getting back into that style of play with some modern guns. It's been a long time. Battlefield 2, one of my favorite games ever on PC.
Battlefield 2 is one of the greatest games of all time.
Like,
so you get no argument from me about that statement. And today was a really great episode, and I would keep it going, but I know we already be tiring people out with how long we be talking.
Yeah.
So
that was we just got to make sure that we keep up on a schedule, I guess, so that we don't try and talk about.
Yeah.
I wanted to run through the first ones in like half an hour.
Bro, we never do that. Come on. We're we just never do it, man. Like, come on. So, because as soon as I get off this with you, I'm turning on my PlayStation. I'm gonna turn on Miles Morales, and I'm gonna start digging into that.
Well,
And then
we'll see. If I find something to do online, I will probably be playing a game. But if not, maybe I'll sit down and put in that God of War.
yeah, man, put in that God of War, man, and hop on the headphones, man. Oh, yo, did I tell you I got those 3D audio headphones?
Oh yeah, how are those?
Uh, they're not bad for $100.
Oh, is that it?
$100. Yeah,
Yeah, it's not too bad.
They're not bad. The whole 3D audio thing, though, I told Rich, I was like, yeah, this seems like they just didn't want to pay Dolby the money for the licensing fee for
Put the real stuff into the headphones. Yeah, my headphones got them. They're not $100. They were like 150 at least.
So, but yeah, man. All right, guys, gonna get up out of here. Chris McCloud, Aaron, aka Big Mad. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
No, he got the outro music ready for y'all. We've been talking for 2 hours. I'm gonna wrap it up because we'll talk for another 2 hours. I love this man. This is my guy, and I know Justin Summers actually rode the whole way with us. You know, I didn't think that he heard us being all sentimental about it, but I guess he did.
Yeah, it did.
I saw the Facebook comments. So, you know, appreciate everybody hanging out with us, man. We will have a more consistent schedule. Have fun with you guys. This is our time to vent and talk about games, man, and nerd culture, and being black and all that good stuff. Because, you know, who the hell else we gonna talk about it with? So,
if you want to hear us talk about it next week, watch.
We will be here.
What's the full title of that movie?
Judas and the Black Messiah, man.
This Friday.
Such a fire. That is such a fire title, man. It's about Fred Hampton. Fred Hampton.
Yeah, man. Daniel Kaluuya. I'm looking forward to it. So,
hey, man, fire, bro. It's going to Oscar.
Maybe I'll have started God of War next week as well.
Bro, just started tonight, man. You're not doing anything. You work tomorrow?
Yeah. Well, I work a regular 9 to 5.
Oh, I don't. I'm off.
All right. I'm gonna fade this out. Close up shop. Time to drop the gate.
Time to drop the gate.
And we will.
How did Jay used to say it in the back room? He always used to be in the back room.
He just said, "Drop the gate," and just yell, "Drop the gate," because he'd be like, he'd notice the minute and be like, and count the amount of people in the store. He'd be like, "Nope, it's too many. Drop the gate." Closing 5 minutes early today.
Somebody knocking on the gate.
Yeah, can I still get in here? Trying to pick it
up. That's crazy. Yeah, man. Shut down the shop, man.
All right.
Get out of here.
We'll see y'all next time.